'Cause every time we try to break it down and build again, yeah, every time we try to make up for something lost, you know, we're never letting go. This time we can reach the sky on a prayer, we go higher than high. Yeah, wide awake, it's a big mistake, 'cause it's something we can deny. But with a love like this, we'll never fall. All of a sudden
Hello, hello, hello. All right. This is Hollis here. Welcome to Hollistics. I'm going to play the intro again at 7 on the dot in about 4 minutes. Just a little behind the scenes here, but I'm live because I've decided to check a few things, get our house cleaning, our housekeeping in order before we officially go live, even though I am live. I think we are on Instagram, so I am checking right now to see if we're on Instagram. Let's see. Okay, it looks like I'm on Instagram. I want to check also my website. I'm going to go to hollismahady.com. Let's see if this works. I am at hollismahady.com. If anyone's out there and they'd like to watch a Hollis Mahady, let's see if it works. We're going to go to podcasts and push play. Okay, let's see. I think I might be live on hollismahady.com here. Let's check that out. Again, we'll be starting the show for real in a couple minutes here. I'm on my website. Okay, looks like I'm on Instagram. Yes. Also my website. I'm going to go to hollismahady.com. All right. Yes, so you can watch this now from hollismahady.com. It's weird because you see a delay. I can see. Okay, let's see. I think I might be live on hollismahady.com here. Let's check that out. Again, we'll be starting the show for real in a couple minutes here. I'm on my website. Yes. Yes, day 7. Finally got on the website. All right, I'm going to pause that. Now we're going to head over to the YouTube and we'll check that out. Got 2 minutes here before we play the intro again and pretend this never happened. Okay, so YouTube. Now we're going to go to Hollis Mahady YouTube. Oh, okay. Videos. Am I on there? Live. Let's look at live. Am I there? I am there. I'm on YouTube. Live. You have to search for it like a little bit. It's just not like right. No, it is there. I think it's there. Okay. 2 out of I've lost track. I don't know. But okay, that's good. So let's go to Instagram. And Dan says, well, we're on Instagram. Where does it say live? I know, but I'm looking on my account. Where is it? Oh, maybe it's here. You know what I mean? Like, I wonder when it's live. Like, where is it? It's live somewhere. I don't know. That one's a mystery. Instagram is a pain in the buttocks-in. We're going to talk about buttocks-ins today. So it is 6:59. So we did the housekeeping. Let's stick to the format here. We're on day 7. Things are going a little better today. We're going to have a great show tonight. I'm so excited. So without further ado, for those 3 people might be out there in the chat room, I see 3 eyeballs. I am going to start again like this never happened. Oh, all right. Here we go. Here's the intro. It is 7 o'clock on the dot. Where is it? Okay, here we go.
'cause every time we try to break it down and build again, yeah, every time we try to make up for something lost, you know, we're never letting go. This time we can reach the sky on a prayer, we go higher than high. Yeah, wide awake, it's a big mistake, 'cause it's something we can deny. But with a love like this, we'll never fall. All of a sudden
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Hollistics. I am so excited for this episode tonight. And wow, what a long way we've come in 7 days. We are now officially streaming on my website. The most important, I think, maybe I'm partial, hollismahady.com. If you, my camera, hello camera, he says, oh, you're not short enough. It moves with me. If you've been here the first couple nights, we've been working through this kinks. Even last night, that was a bit frustrating. But you know, the show must go on. And I see a comment in there, and I'm so happy to have you here, Tom. Tom's in the chat room, and he confirmed what I've been saying. And if you know, you know. If you do live streaming, Tom, I know you feel for me. I feel for you. Instagram is the worst for live streaming. It is. And we got Joe in the chat room tonight, too. Hello. Hello, Joe. He says, hello, Hollis. I'm driving, but listening. Oh, good. Well, I will soothe you with my voice. And you have to always be safety first here. You know, never text or watch while you're driving, but listening is good. It's like old school radio. So it's so great to have Manga Dirt Biker here. I love you, Joe. Thank you for everything this week. He has been, he's a true supporter, a true champion, and we couldn't be more grateful for you. So thank you for coming in and tuning in. And again, I'm so happy to have Tom here tonight. And Tom, you're going to enjoy this. I am so excited for this show. We talked about it and we're making it happen. But a little housekeeping order. If you are new to the show, my name is Hollis Mahady. This is my 7th show. This has been a crazy week. Every day I've gone live. And starting on Monday, I'm going to be taking this weekend off. I'm very looking forward to it because we got to go grocery shopping. And there's nothing more exciting to me than going to Trader Joe's. And I love Trader Joe's in Pennsylvania. They don't have them everywhere. I think there's one near Philly. They really only have them in cities that I've found. I could be wrong, or little towns like near cities. But I know in Scranton they don't have them. But when I moved to California and I discovered Trader Joe's, it's a supermarket, but they have all this. The great thing is it's not super expensive. There's another one I used to love, and I would go to Whole Foods. People called it Whole Paycheck because you go to the salad bar and you spend about $100 getting a freaking salad because, you know, you're weighing the things. When you go to a salad bar, you have to be careful. But yes, there is a Trader Joe's in Cleveland, and I'm so excited to go shopping there. Because when I lived in Maine, I was like, oh my God, there was only one grocery store. And I was like, really date yourself. I'm at the age where I'm like, I need a good grocery store in my town, you know? And it's like, you know, yeah, what you have up there. They didn't have a salad bar. And I was like, I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I'm going to open up a restaurant there. We need a salad bar in Maine. And where we lived, we didn't have one. But, you know, I tried to build it and it didn't work out. I wasn't able to start the business. So I'm like, well, I'll just move somewhere where there's already a salad bar. So I don't think that is my destiny to be making salad bars, but I do enjoy them so much. And Trader Joe's does not have a salad bar, but they have great pre-made meals and things like that. And, you know, I'm not a huge cook, although I'm trying. I'm going to get better. But I do love making salads. You know, thank God I'm married to someone who is a great cook. And my father-in-law who's watching. And thank you so much. We're going to get to that. We're going to be thanking people in applause because you guys have been awesome this week. And it really is cool that, you know, here we are on day 7. And I know I'm all over the place because I'm excited because tonight we're going to be dimming the lights here. I have a song I'm debuting for the night that we have planned. So we're going to get through a couple of the things and then we're going to change the background because I made something very spectacular in my eyes. And I think a lot of people who were born in the 80s or 70s or 60s or all that, you're going to appreciate this because we're going to take a little bit of a trip down memory lane here. It's nostalgia. It's Friday because it's TGIF Friday here. Today is Friday. But back to the weekend, time goes so freaking fast. You know, it's like I'm saying this now and then Monday it'll be here again already. It goes so fast. So this weekend is a great time because we're going to go to the supermarket. We're going to get the snacks because this week has just every time I was live, which was 7 to, I started Saturday and I was just like, you know what? I prepared everything. I did my commercials. I did all this stuff. I put it in the Streamlabs. You know, Tommy, you'll appreciate this. I tried Streamlabs this week. I did one studio. Now I'm in StreamYard and I compared it to dating. I said, I'm not dating men right now, but I'm dating streaming services and I'm looking for the perfect one. And it just does not exist because I said Streamlabs. It has the tip cup and all the coins fell down. And on the first episode, I was so excited because I saw the little coins drop when someone did a donation or a tip and they fell. But you know what? Streamlabs was lacking. I said, like, the quality's in a guy, right? What can you not live without? I mean, the tip jar was freaking cute. That was my number one. I wanted that tip jar. I really did. But then I realized that Streamlabs was lacking in so many other areas. It did not connect to the Instagram, and it didn't connect to this, and it didn't connect to Facebook. And I spent all week when I was off the air trying to figure this out. I didn't go to the grocery store. I didn't do like anything else. It was just like day after day. It was like all day, and then boom, back on the air, and then figuring it out. But here we are 7 days later, and I think we're finally working here, because last night wasn't the best because I had some technical difficulties. But we worked through them live on the stage. I said the show must go on, even though I wanted to smash the computer screen because everything worked fine before I went on air. And then the computer froze. Been there, right? So what does Tom say? Tom says, yes. The Pizza Hut salad bars back in the day were off the charts. Yes, salad bars are the best. Remember? And buffets, and like, remember Ponderosa? Oh, this is going to be so much fun. We're getting into all this today. Jess wanted me to tell you she's here, but it won't let her chat for some reason. Jess, let me know where you're watching it. It depends on where you're watching it, because I think I sent you the Rumble link. We are live on Rumble. I should be live on YouTube on both the VOP U.S.A. radio channel and on my Hollis channel. We're also live, oddly enough, apparently on Instagram, even though I don't see it. I don't know if it said it's live. And probably somewhere else, I think I don't know what else I'm missing. But the biggest thing, now I don't know about the chat. There probably is not a chat if you're watching it on the website. So if you're watching it on my website, there's no chat. But if you're watching it on Rumble, there is a chat, and I should be able to see your chat. Tom, where are you watching it? Because I could see your chat. You're on Rumble, aren't you? So if Jess goes into Rumble and watches it, you should be able to chat. But again, that's all the things we're figuring out here, because the other night on Instagram or in my chat room, I saw 2 come in from Instagram, because it says where you're watching. There's a little like logo thing on your picture there. So Tom, you have the little green play, which I know is Rumble, and everyone else seems like they're Rumble here. I mean, and there's there's VOP USA radio. Everything is working. We're off to a great start. That's what we're going to celebrate tonight. It is Friday night, and as I said, let me know if you guys have weekend plans, whatever it is doing this weekend. Like I said, go so fast, especially when you sleep in, because I haven't been sleeping in, but I've just been on the graveyard shift. It's so bad. I went to bed this morning at 7, maybe it was 8 a.m., got up at 2. So I think I went to bed at like 7. So I get my 7 hours a night, between 6 and 8. If I get 8, I'm happy. I am one of those people who I need sleep. There's Jess. Yay. Here she is. Here, let's do an applause. Wait, hold on. I have my sound effects. Jess from Cole County Entertainment, and Tom, obviously, from Cole County Entertainment. They are amazing. And hold on, guys. Where are my little sound effects? I have sound effects because that deserves. Tom is here, and let's do another applause. We have a lot to be celebrating and applauding for this week. Let's just applaud. We made it through another week, and we are still alive. Big one to everybody. All right. What else do we need? A lot of applause. Let's do a big applause. Shout out to Smrigs. That is a big supporter of the show, and he's out there. Hopefully he's watching this. I know he is, unless he couldn't find it, but I think he'll be here. And to Maga Dirt Biker, and to Timothy, and to Aaron and Amy, and all those who came on the very first night when I was like, not nervous, but it was my first time. You've been here from the start. So let's give a bigger round of applause to everybody. Thank you. And let's give a big applause to the streaming platforms that seem to be working tonight. So let's keep our fingers crossed as we go through this. All right. So with that out of the way, a little bit of housekeeping. If you're new to the show, if you just stumbled upon this on wherever you might find it, YouTube, all those places. My name is Hollis Mahady. This is Holistics. I'm coming to you live every night at 7 p.m. Eastern time, because maybe wherever you are, you might be on the West Coast. You might find this on the West Coast. You might be in another country. Because I had someone here from the UK the other night. I used to live in the UK, and I've been seeing some old familiar faces or familiar avatars that I haven't seen in a while. And it's been awesome. So we're just going to let everyone know this is also okay. Good. We got Tom in there. This is also you. Okay. I understand about the multi-streaming. So we have seen people and seen little avatars and people I haven't talked to in quite a while. And this is why it's so cool and why I'm trying to get it out there and let people know, because I have been behind the scenes for far too long. I have not been in front of the camera. Actually, my first in front of the camera was the No Skips podcast. And I hope to come back on again. And I hope we're going to do plenty more things together, because it's not very often that you find that when you connect with the people and you really love them so much and you appreciate them, but that they're also they're sharing the mission. We're sharing the mission together. And they know when I talk about live streams, that's why I'm addressing Tom out there. I know that there's probably other people, but if you know, and it is a lot. So it's nice to have that common ground with each other there. But yes, and if you don't know about live streaming, if you don't need to know, you're just here to view, don't worry about it. Please trust me. We'll take care of that. We'll get there. But yeah, so into the show. This is very exciting as I've been finding my footing and we're doing our segments. I thought, you know what? Why don't we do Friday nights? TGI Friday, baby. Now, what does that mean to everyone? TGI Friday, it's a restaurant. They have those in Pennsylvania. But for the people who were born in the 80s, I guess the 70s too. I mean, anyone who was born in the 80s, I think is going to understand the TGIF Fridays that I'm talking about. And I've been saying, I said to Jess, I said to Tom also on their No Skips podcast. And before, when we were talking outside of that, it's like, oh man, remember TGI Fridays? Those were the days. Those were when we were growing up, when we were in elementary school. I was going to say high school. No, we were in elementary school for me. And those were the nights that you would look forward to. TGI Fridays was a series of TV shows, and it was from 8 to 10 every Friday. I believe it was 2 hours, 4 shows, 4 sitcoms. And I said, gosh, they should recreate a TGI Friday, because it was some of the best memories. It was one of the, those childhood memories that just stick with you. Whatever, summers with grandma at the lake, or, when going to the candy store with my dad, or that trip in school, that just memorable, these memorable moments. And for me personally, it was TGI Fridays. We got home, it was pizza night. Aw, that was so much fun. It makes you want to cry, because it's like, God, where those days, they just, they live as memories that are so impactful in your life, and going Fridays nights, you would go home and I knew like that lineup was coming on. It was Full House. Then we had Family Matters with Steve Urkel, and then we had Step by Step, and it changed over the years. Oh, Perfect Strangers, Boy Meets World. Thank you very much. And Jess and I were talking about that off the air. We had so much fun, because it's like it was so much of your childhood. And I remember having even TGI Friday trading cards. Did anybody else have those? And God bless you, Mom. I love you, but she didn't mean to. I had them. I had them for years in a lunchbox and in my closet in Scranton. And I remember I had The Simpsons, I had Garbage Pail Kids, and I had the TGI Friday trading cards. I had Full House, I had Perfect Strangers, I had Family Matters. I remember those sticking out mainly. The Perfect Strangers, Balky Bartakamas. I had these trading cards, and I had them forever. And then when my mom was cleaning out the house, I don't know why she threw them out. I don't want to make her feel bad. She won't see this. She's like, oh, I feel so bad. I was like, it's okay. I went on eBay actually to see if you could get them. They're still there, and they're not like thousands of dollars. I was like, oh, the Garbage Pail Kids, they could be worth like $3,000. The atom bomb and all that, atomic atom. Remember the Garbage Pail Kids and all that stuff? Ah, yes, Jess. said look forward to it every Friday. Yeah, it was just something that we are, of course, and your kids too. So my sister and I, it was Friday night, and my sister and I, we got to go upstairs and watch it in my parents' room because they were downstairs watching, their boring TV shows to us, like the news and everything. And we're up there and we're on the king size bed because I had a king size bed. And we also had a Nintendo in that room. Like I lived up there on Friday nights because my dad and my mom were downstairs, and we got to do whatever we wanted up in their room, and they had the big king size bed. And I was saying, like, even a king size bed is big now for us. I finally have a king size bed. It's awesome. It's awesome. Still paying it off at Value City Furniture, but we got a good bargain on it. It's a Tempur-Pedic, and got one of those. But anyway, back to, I could still imagine the comforter on the bed. These memories you have. I picture the comforter, and it was huge. It was like it was so much fun. You're up on the big bed, and we're smaller, so you're like, this is like this huge bed. And we got our popcorn, and we waited for Full House, that Full House to come on, and the theme songs and all that. And I said, where are those now? Like, kids don't have a TGI Friday. They really need to bring it back. And I said, well, you know what? If we can't bring it back just yet, but I think we can. I have some good ideas here. If there's something missing, then why not make it? That's the thing. There's a void, a problem, or you need a solution for. Well, then we'll make our own TGI Fridays here. And that's what I thought. We're just going to talk about it. And maybe by next Friday, we could even play some clips of shows or things like that. But with that said, let's see. Here we go. I've been prepared. Do you guys remember? Does this make you feel any kind of way? Hold on. If I can find it. Let's see. I want a video file. This is why I need a producer. Oh, okay. Let's see. Oh, it's here. It's here. Cancel. Okay. Does this make you feel any kind of certain way? Is this the right one? I don't know which one it is. Let's try this one.
It's Friday night, and the mood is right. We're gonna have some fun, show you how it's done, TGI.
All right. If you know, right? And there must be other people in here as well who are maybe coming by and know about TGI Fridays. So here we go. Here's another thing I imported here. Oh, now before we know. So are you guys ready for this? I mean, I know there's other people in here, but I'm talking to Tom and Jess a lot because we've discussed this so much. Ready? Let me know if this makes you feel a certain way, because now we are officially Friday night, and it's TGI Fridays here on Hollistics. All right. And tonight we're going to be talking a lot about it and reminiscing. You can even get some 80's movies, all that stuff. Garbage Pail Kids. They actually had Haunted Hollis. Because Hollis is a weird name. I mean, my mom and Jess knows me as Holly. Jim Tim is in the room. Hi, Jim. Thanks for being here. Jim's a great loyal listener. We actually, Jim Tim went to East Stroudsburg, Jess, and he was in our class. And this is what a small world it is, because Tim, I'll introduce you to Jess over here. This is Jess. And Jess was my college roommate. And the weirdest thing is that Jim Tim knows my husband Dan and went to school with him. Right? So it's like, it's a small world. But yeah, Jim Tim went to East Stroudsburg. And he told me this after we were talking, and he always came in Dan's show in the chat rooms and stuff. And Dan and him went to high school together, if I believe correctly. It might be even elementary. I might be wrong. You let me know. Yes. Isn't it a small world? So that's what we're doing here. We're bringing people together. We're connecting because we're all obviously the same age. Then, like I said, the show is for anyone, you know what I mean? But I don't know, like younger kids, I hope you've discovered it and find it. And everybody's welcome here. It's all about the connection. And I hope they do, because they might get introduced to Balky Bartakamus and all these, and Larry Appleton and all these great things that were really great to us and meaningful to us. And I know, it's a different generation, so they have their own things, like the Powerpuff Girl, like all that stuff. That's like the next up. But I didn't watch any of that, so I wouldn't really be in. If we were in their room, I'd be like, huh? It's like I don't know. I don't remember the Rubik's Cube. No, I don't remember the Pogs. You guys remember all that stuff. So that's what I thought. Like Friday nights, it's TGI Fridays. We're here. We're just kicking back and play some tunes. Like I said, I don't have any clips or things like that lined up now, but maybe we could watch an episode. I don't know, Steve Urkel or something like that. Because when you're watching it back now, because if you just go on YouTube and do a search, put in like TGI Friday 1980s, you'll see stuff and it makes you laugh. And I'm like, this is what we thought was so freaking cool. It's so cheesy, but I'm a cheeseball. Even now, I'm still a cheeseball. So like, I would love to watch. I mean, Full House, obviously. I've seen Full House not that long ago because that's on everywhere. But some of these, like Step by Step, I haven't seen that in forever. And you did get on a quad at ESU. Okay, you guys went to high school together. Wait, what was the quad? Was that like the courtyard in the middle? I forget. Oh, the ESU guys. Remember the Union, the Buffalo chicken wraps? I love them. They were my favorite. They were so good. You know, I went back to ESU. I knew the really, yeah. Yes, so did Jess. He says, I did the real crazy house. Yeah, there's some of the things I'm like, I used to drink like a fish. I'm sober now. I don't drink anymore. But yes, the quad and the buffalo chicken wraps and the dining hall. What was it called? Stroud Hall, remember? By the student union. Yep. Stroud Hall. And I would always get the stir fry. You had to wait in line for the stir fry line. But that was, yeah, I had the meal card. Good times. It's really cool to have you guys in here. This is nice. Okay, so with that said, let's just not a huge change here, but we're gonna change the background. And I've been slaving away all day on this. Here we go. If I could get this, I know I can because I prepared. You ready? Let me know if this makes you feel any certain kind of way. Here we go. And like that. Oh, we should do like a drum roll. A drum roll. That it's officially, maybe it's 7:22, whatever. It doesn't matter, but if it turns into TGI Fridays. Here we go. Drum roll. It didn't work. Wait, let me try it again. Wait, hold on. That's my background. You better come back here. Oh, come on. I worked so hard on this one. Wait, hold on. There. Okay. Let's try it again. Ready? Drum roll. Almost timed perfectly. There we go. Do you recognize anything there? Any make you feel any kind of certain way? The same guy sung Full House, Family Matters, and this step. Wow, look at that. That's an interesting fact. Tidbit. Interesting fact. Fun fact. Fun fact. I think I was trying to say fun fact and tidbit, and I said tid fact. Okay, we make our words here. That's what Tom says, in case you guys know that. The same guy sung Full House, Family Matters, and Step by Step theme songs. See, that is also, right, guys? Isn't that the thing that makes these shows so memorable? It's your theme song. Did it ever happen to a disability? The Paperboy and Evening TV. Ooh. That's the Full House one. I don't remember the Step by Step, but I'm really prepared. So let's play this. I don't remember. Remember Who's the Boss? That was a random one. That wasn't on TGIF. That was a good show, too. I love Who's the Boss. I went back and watched that. It's so funny. Like, not that long ago. It's Angela and Tony. And here, let's add this because I think this plays some of the theme songs. But the theme song totally makes it break it. Not makes or breaks it. But the theme song is, I think, what really makes you remember these things. Because music is so important. I always talk about music. And guess what? Guess what, everybody? We have our own theme song for TGI Fridays. We'll be unveiling that at the top of the hour. So don't go anywhere. Get yourself a drink when I play a commercial here. Don't leave just yet. We're just getting started. But yeah, here we go. This is, I think this one's the theme songs. Ready? No, that's the other one. Hold on. That's what I did. Yeah. You can still hear and see me, right? We can talk about old shows forever. At Roseanne, the Golden Girls. Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. Talking about the music, though. Let's see. I think this was the one. No.
It's Friday night, and the mood is
I have
right.
another video.
We're gonna have some fun, show you how it's done. TGIF. Hello.
Here it is.
Sometimes the world looks perfect, nothing to rearrange. Sometimes you just get a feeling like you need some kind of change. No matter what the odds are, this
say that I have the doll. Wait, hold on. Oh, let me put me back on the screen here. At this stage. Okay, I'm small. You guys can still see me though, right? Hold on. That's so funny. I have the dinosaur. I'm trying to like find. Oh, I have to go back here. Hold on. Oh, there we are. Oh my gosh, that deserves a round of applause. What should I get to drink? Oh, what should Jim have? It depends. Are you going hard tonight? Or are you just, not wanting to feel crappy tomorrow? Because I brought to the show, I have one left. I have this is cherry vanilla, 5 grams of sugar. This is my adult beverage tonight, a prebiotic cola from Pepsi. Now they're doing things healthier, which is nice. Very good. Soda's not good for you. Pop Fizz, standing tall. I know that, like, how long has it been? See, honestly, I looked at these again when we were talking about it. But before that, so I looked at like 2 weeks ago when we were talking last, Jess, when I was like looking at all these and the theme songs, laughing and the stroll down memory lane, because it makes you feel good. Like I said, the theme song is so important. And even the theme song of Hollistics, if you listen to the whole theme song, it's like 30 seconds. So you don't have it, but it reminds me of like an 80's or like, as I like those cheesy like songs that are like, yeah, we could win, nothing's gonna stop you. And that's how I feel my life. It's like, no, we're gonna prevail, we're gonna win. And you have to have the soundtrack, the cheesy soundtrack. That's probably why. And I would always be playing the song, and Dan's like, oh, that song again, because Dan's very like, he likes metal and heavy things, and I'm just like, our hearts and we're gonna win. And like, that didn't sound very good at all, but it like very good. Okay, good. Then Tim, well, what are the options? Like, what do you have? What do you have in the refrigerator? You got coffee. Well, that wouldn't be the refrigerator, I guess, but you know what I mean. Water is always a good choice. I have my backup water over here. And I realized I have not been drinking. My camera follows me. I have not been drinking enough water at all. And I got to get my little cute cup. I got to get I got to brand myself here so I could be like, hey, look at this awesome tumbler. You can get one too. Just click my link, use the affiliate code, and I will make $1 every time. And that's how we will support the show. So everybody take a cheers, take a drink. This. I can't tell people, okay, go get your great value purified drinking water at Walmart and I'll get $1. We got to get the cool tumbler. Maybe we could get engraved. You get an H on it or a TGI Friday tumbler. And then that will support the show because everyone will want to have one Friday nights. And then, we could get the money to do more shows because this costs a fortune. All of these things cost so much money. Speaking of that, if you just popped in the show and you like what you're seeing, if you want to support, you could buy me a coffee. You could drop a tip in the tip jar. This week has been amazing. I didn't expect anything, but we are getting there. I have to do the grand total, but I'm up to almost, I think now with a few donations here, Joe and Smurgs, we are up. I'm over $60. And I said, when I get to, I got to really tally that up. But when I maybe even close to 70 now. So I wasn't expecting it. And we are on day 7. So that's pretty good. And I know people just get to know you. So you don't want to be like, give me your money. But I did say, I used to be a bartender and all I had to do was pour someone a drink and they gave me $1. And I'm here and I'm pouring my soul out. I'm here. I'm pouring my heart, putting our time to make sure to have some connection in real time with people. So if you appreciate what we do here, you can go over to buymeacoffee.com. It's scrolling across the bottom of the screen, buymeacoffee.com/Hollis Mahady. And you could do a one-time donation. You could buy a coffee, mocha choca hoka lattes. I enjoy those. And they're about $5 at Starbucks. You buy me a coffee or you do a one-time donation. Or if you're really becoming a fan or you want to support, you could become a member. And I have a different, different levels. And I have the picture in here, but I realized if I put it on here, I won't be able to talk about it. But I have a picture of my lyric sheet. Of course, it's not here right now. See, I forgot to put it in today. But here, I'll play this real quick. This will explain it. Are you enjoying the podcast? If you'd like to support what I'm building, you can buy me a coffee. Every bit of support helps me keep this podcast going and release my music independently. You can leave a one-time tip or become a member for a few dollars a month and unlock exclusive content and behind-the-scenes footage you won't find anywhere else. Just visit buymeacoffee.com/HollisMahady or scan the code you see on the screen. There we go. And that's also, I don't have the picture right now because it was on my other stream and I forgot to bring it in. But when I get to that goal of $100, I'm going to be giving away a free lyric painting, not a free, as a gift. So basically anyone who tips, even if it's $1, throw $1 in, do a tip, you scan that code. If you're watching this on a computer, you take your phone, you just take a picture of that, you put it on camera and hold it up to the QR code. I'm sure people have probably done this before, and it pops right up there, buy me a coffee. Another way to get to the buy me a coffee is to, can you bet? Hold on one second. Let me get this comment off because it takes away my website there. Hide current comment. Oh, okay. The greatest way, not the greatest way, but the easiest way, if you go to hollismahady.com, right on the corner there's a buy me a coffee link. But the buy me a coffee is actually, it's just the easiest way, to do it. I think if you click on it, you want to donate something. But also if you want to become a member, I have another podcast called the Comedy of Errors podcast, and that is exclusively for members only. But you need a backstage pass for that. And what I'm doing with that, you can take a look at that. That's all my music. This one, of course, we talk about music. We not dabble on music because I'm a musician, so I'm always talking about it and referencing music. But this one really, I made this really for fans of my music. Maybe they know me from back in the day and they want to know what I'm doing. But I have recorded a whole album, and that's a Comedy of Errors, and I'll show you that real quick. But this is for this is a podcast only on there. It's going to be, if you sign up, then you could see the podcast. And I'm going to shoot my first one because no one signed up for it yet. So I didn't feel a big rush to do it, but I am going to do it. So it's up there. So if someone does sign up, they could see at least an episode. And I'm going to be doing one of those a week because this takes up a lot of time. This is every night. Here, we'll take a look at that real quick. This is my new album coming out here.
Life is a gift, the game we play.
Yeah, so another way to support, and this is not going to apply to Jess out there because you have all the Love Zombies music. And she showed me, and I was laughing when I saw the picture that you sent to me of you in the t-shirt. You still have that with the Love Zombie, and it said Hollis on there. And it was so funny. And when I was laughing when I saw that, because that's the picture I remember. I was like, I remember you had the t-shirt and everything. You've always been supported. And thank you again for all your support always. And so, but I also put together all my past music collection in one spot, two full albums, one recorded live at Abbey Road, one recorded somewhere else in LA, but this was called Passion Fruit. I have live at Abbey Road, No Slow Songs with Love Zombies, the Love Zombies Be Honest EP. So you'll hear me a lot, probably referencing my old band, but we were in the UK. I traveled all over the world. I was in that band for years. I loved that. That was my pride and joy for many years. The Love Zombies. I want to try to make it with the Love Zombies, but there's like a small niche people, a lot of them in the UK who know who the Love Zombies are. But there's some great music on that. And it also has a Christmas album. And I put it all together in one spot. It's available for sale on my website. It's also on the Buy Me Coffee. There's a shop there. And I'm selling 3 things right now, a lyric sheet. That's what you could be in the running to win. If you do a tip, and I'm going to pull the name out of the jar at the end. Anyone who contributed, you have it in the running. You have a chance to win one of these lyric sheets. But they're also for sale on my website because any profit money I make is going to be going towards promoting the album because the album is done. So it just costs. I don't have a record label. I don't have any backing. All that. The typical independent artist story is so great to be independent. Yeah, but it's hard because there's not a lot of funds. And as we know, and I've talked about and addressed many times on the past episodes, boosting posts and Facebook advertising. And every time if you want to boost this post and you feel if you don't boost it or you don't pay for it, it's very hard to break through. But those are the episodes I was talking about and things that come up all the time. But all in one place. This collection of music probably cost me, I don't know, $20,000 to make. It's all on sale for $20. So if anyone needs some new tunes, these are great for the gym. There's a lot of fast. It's pretty fun music. I have some covers on there, cover songs. Some Age of Aquarius is on there, and there's a couple more songs that's like not out anywhere. A couple original songs I've done over the years. So all in one place. So I'll give you a little quick commercial with that one. Check it out. Need some new tunes to listen to? Why not try the Hollis-Tics Music Collection? As I move towards the new, I'm closing an old chapter with gratitude. To celebrate the new music on the horizon, I've gathered my complete past collection and made it available all in one place. The collection includes 2 full albums with my previous band Love Zombies, Passion Fruit, and No Slow songs recorded live at Abbey Road Studios, the Be Honest EP with Love Zombies, Hollis original songs, Hollis cover songs, a bonus Christmas album. And this collection represents the journey that brought me here today and the doorway into what's next. To purchase the music collection, head over to hollismahady.com and go to the store. All funds raised go directly towards promoting and advertising my new album on my own label, Voice of Freedom Records. Thanks so much for supporting independent music. Hey, there you go. I was talking a little bit over it, and then I realized you can't hear my voice when they're playing. But yes, all in one place for $20. Go and support if you can. If you don't have it, there's really great music on there. We Love Zombies. We had a lot of great songs, including the one that was playing. That was called Be Honest. Lighten Up is a great song we did. Big and Big and Strong. A lot of good ones on there. And then one last other thing I'll throw out there because I feel like I don't do it enough. But I also, over the years, have learned so much. Everything you see, I've done, every graphic, every video, every commercial you see. And I also offer that as well as a creative service. If anyone needs a little intro made or a commercial made and you want to use real people. So I know AI is big right now and voiceovers and, let me just, because I understand people have budgets or they want to save money, but let's not hire a human. But sometimes your voiceovers are going to be like, they do not have the real human emotion. Some parts you could clip things together and get something, but sometimes it's good to just pay a human. Support if you can. So these are my creative services that I offer, and it's all on my website. Seriously, if you're interested, if you have a business, you need a little commercial, hire a human. Hire me. I will do it for you, and your money, you'll be getting something of value back, and you will also be supporting this show and my music to put it out there. So here's the Hollis Creative Services. And again, once this commercial is over, if you're interested, you can check out the website. It's all up there. There's a link actually to all the work. I do thumbnails, I do audio books, I do a lot of stuff. So here we go. Hi guys, I'm Hollis, and I'm here to bring your creative vision to life. Whether it's designing your video thumbnails or editing your content or recording voiceovers for commercials, I've got you covered. I'm part of the in-house production team at Voice of the People USA Radio and Television Network, and over the last 6 years, I taught myself everything from production to post-editing and beyond. I know exactly what it feels like to be stuck, overwhelmed, or unsure where to even begin. And that's exactly why I now offer these services to other people as well. So if you have a project you're working on, you can hit the link below where you can see examples of my work, from commercials I've produced to voiceovers and more. And if you like what you see and think I can help with what you're looking for, feel free to reach out. We can create something awesome together. So there you go. So yeah, it's over these past 5 or 6 years when I always say when I disappeared from the world, I was like, I've always been here. I haven't been in front of the camera because I was building and building and building. The last time I was on stage was at Montage Mountain in Scranton. I'm going to come over here real quick and look at the comments. Got any new ones here? Age of Aquarius is awesome. Aw, thank you. Love the video with it. Did you see the new video I did? Actually just did a new video a couple weeks ago because when I got my photo shoot, the girl who did our photos, I love her. She's amazing. Big shout out. She's probably not listening. She probably hasn't seen it, but Andrea Witt, she's amazing. Oh, I love her. And I want her to write me back because I want to come back and she did astrology as well. So a little bonus already. She's a great photographer, and she did a little reading for Dan and I. Good things are coming in a couple months, but she inspired me. I was like, oh, I'm gonna send you my Age of Aquarius video, and I did that like 10 years ago with the Love Zombies. And it's up there, it's up on my channel. Maybe I'll play it one of these days. But I wanted to always do another remake of it. I always wanted to do a video because 10 years ago, I didn't know how to edit videos or anything. And I remember I had to pay someone. I'm trying to find someone to do it. And they did a nice job. They did a cute job, but it wasn't what I really wanted. But, it's a moment in time. It's there. It's a cute video. But I was like, oh, I'll do one with like, the stars and all that stuff in there. So it's like a lyric video. The lyrics aren't actually on it because I didn't want to. I think people could hear the lyrics, so I didn't want to put the lyrics over the nice visuals. So that's on my YouTube channel. It's up there somewhere. It's also, maybe it's on my website. It's on my Voice of the People website, because we are also broadcasting live on VOPUSAradio.com. If I didn't mention, I am a business owner. And we have actually a channel. So I am on Roku TV right now. I'm on Fire TV. I'm on Apple TV and Android TV. And I'm on the apps. So we are everywhere. But VOPUSAradio.com. You go over to there, go to the Wellness and Faith channel on the live streams, and I should be broadcasting there as well. And we have arts and entertainment. We have a lot of other things, and we have a lot of new shows coming, but things just take time. We are building this one video at a time, one live stream at a time. But consistency is key, and that's what I said. I said, I'm just going to show up tonight. I'm going to show up every night from Monday through Friday. But I'm going to show up every night, and we're going to build a community together. And it's already growing, and it's been a lot of fun. So what was I going to say? So back to the media assets here. Again, we're going to get back to some of the 80s talk. We should do some trivia and things like that too. But on that support, I will just play this very quickly while I take a sip of my soda. Take a drink. When you're truly independent, creating music isn't just art. It's devotion. It's late nights, long days, and pouring your own time, energy, and money into something you believe in. Something you feel called to bring into the world. Right now, the world is overflowing with content, music everywhere, so much of it generated in seconds by machines. And somewhere in that noise, real artists are fighting to be heard. The ones who spent years learning their craft, the ones who turned their pain into songs, the ones who kept going when it would have been easier to quit. Most people scroll past without thinking about the soul behind the sound. But if you ever find music that moves you, that heals something in you, that makes you feel less alone, remember, there's a real person behind it. Because good music isn't noise. It's something sacred. If you discover music that speaks to you, support the people who made it, if you can. I try to pop out behind it. I forget you add yourself to the stage or take it away. There's a lot going on here. A lot going on when you're doing it all yourself. But what was I going to say? So yeah, it's 7:45 already. So we are almost at the top of the hour here. And I have a song we're going to be debuting. So I'll talk a little bit about the song because this is such a good song. Now, in my first few episodes, if you want, go back and watch them. They're all on the YouTube. They're on the YouTube. And they're all on my website, actually. All 6 of them are up there. And this will be number 7 I'm going to add. I add them every night after I'm done. And I talk in the first couple episodes all about AI music, right? And I'm a musician and how this is impacting the world. And is it good? Is AI good, bad? I'm very honest in all of it. I say there are some good things about AI. And that is definitely something, Tom and Jess, we should do a show just about, like the benefits and, and what I always forget the other word, the drawbacks, the benefits and the drawbacks of it. Because I've been very honest. I use AI. I mean, you kind of have to, right? So I use ChatGPT a lot. It helps, the automation and all that stuff. But for my own music, for my personal music for Hollis, I won't use AI. I'm not going to use AI. I haven't. I never have. But I did AI generate the song we're going to hear. And this is what I'm saying. Like, I love this song. They popped out this amazing song. I typed some of the lyrics in there and they made this little masterpiece that, again, if I tried to do this myself, how much would that cost in the studio? How long would it take to compile everyone together? We got to write the song, then we got to record it, then we got to pay the drummer, then we got to pay the guitar player, then we got to pay the producer, then we got to rent the place. I mean, this popped it out in like 2 minutes. and it's a great song. But so that's what we're up against. There are good songs and there's good things to it because, like, for instance, my show here, I can't use unless you pay for certain things. Like, I can't just play all these songs on here that, like, I can't play like an Elvis song. I mean, you can. For instance, my St. Patrick's Day edition, I played a couple songs. And then right away, I got a notification from YouTube. It says, your content has been a copyright. Like, you can't monetize this video because I was playing Billy Joel and I played America song. Jess, I played The Lonely People on that. And, that's fine. But knowing you can't play certain songs. So that's why I use all my music from Epidemic Sound in these videos because I pay for Epidemic Sound. So that's what you pay for it. And you could use this library and it won't get taken down and you can monetize and stuff because I'm actually paying them. So their artists are getting paid and all that. So actually, speaking of that, I love Epidemic Sound. Yeah, it happened to Tom too, because you can't. I'm down for a pros and cons show. Yeah, definitely. There's so much to say, right? Because like I was saying, this is a pro that this song we're gonna play because it's gonna make us feel good, and I love it. But we'll talk about the cons too. But with the music, actually, and you maybe Tommy, you already know about this and Jess, but these are the music I play comes from this service. And I actually made a little commercial because if anybody wants to get it, is it up here? Zagnut. Where is it? Did I forget to bring that one in here? I had a commercial for Epidemic Sounds. I guess I didn't bring it in. I thought it was here. Sorry, guys. Sorry for the silence. You don't want to have silence. You just got to keep talking. Well, it's not here, but I'll find it. I have it somewhere actually, so I'll find it during the break. But anyway, it's Epidemic Sound. It's on my website, and it's a great service because we deal with that. You can't play certain music. Now, there's a lot of different kinds of. It's complicated. There's a lot of different rights because, for instance, our radio station, we don't currently have it. We need to get it. Of course, we have the money to buy it right now, but you could buy the BMI and ASCAP license, and there's different rules. If we wanted to play the oldie songs, I was just DJing here and I'm talking. And I'm like, okay, guys, up next. And I play the song and it's still me here. You could do that if you have a license. And then there's certain songs you could play or not. There's a whole library you have to go through, but you can do that. And that's how most radio stations, I think, get away with it. And they do it. They pay for the license and then you could play these. But it's different if you are putting a video, if you were putting a music to a video. So there's a show I have and I had some like the Rocky theme in it and all this music, and I'm not going to be able to play it. I mean, you could put it up on YouTube, but you can't monetize it. So you can get away with it. But if I was to play, make a video, like one of my videos and put like an Elton John song or a Beatles song, you can't do that. You have to get the license and the rights to it. That's how like these movies, okay. I don't know. It's all very complicated, but like, for instance, big pictures that come out, big movies, they have to pay a lot of money to get the sync license. So if they wanted to play the Rocky theme, I would just say that as an example, or, a Michael Jackson song or a Beatles song or something, you have to go through their publisher and you have to do all this stuff. So for, smaller artists and stuff like us who don't have a budget for that, something like Epidemic Sound is great because you could go on and you can't, and then you can, put music out there that other people might discover for more undiscovered artists. Like, for instance, my closing song is called Lights. I love this song. And I found an Epidemic Sound. And I actually looked up to see, I said, what band is that? It's called Mercy Street. But then I looked to see, I actually asked ChatGPT this. I said, what's Mercy Street? Like, who are they? Where are they from? I found them on Epidemic Sound. And they said sometimes they just make up bands' names because it's really not. It's just people who are hired to make music for it. I mean, it's still great music. I mean, that's a big deal. But there's like, these are people making music for a library. Like, for instance, Lights, it sounds like Coldplay. So ChatGPT gives me the advice and says, well, if you want something that sounds like Coldplay, you're not going to be able to use Coldplay in your videos and put them on your network, but you can type something in that sounds like Coldplay and you might get a kind of vibe of a song. But this happens to sound like Coldplay. I didn't type in Coldplay. I'm not really I like Coldplay. It's all right, but it's not like a huge fan of it. I wasn't searching for a Coldplay song. I actually just found the song. I was like, oh, it hit me. I was like, that's such a nice song. And if you stick around to the end of the show, you will hear it again. It's a great song. And I will have to find my Epidemic Sound video. And I will do that. And anyway, back to the original question here. It was no question. Is there any questions? Anybody have a question out there? But this happens sometimes. And I said, when you're doing a show by yourself, can't ask, hey, where was I? Hey, where was I? You just got to go where it goes. Because I don't remember. I'm like, where was I? But now I do remember where we were. We were talking about the pros and cons of AI and where this song came from. But the point is, this is an AI generated song. And I actually have the rights to the song because you pay to get the rights. That's a hairy. That's a hairy subject, right? Because there's the rights can use the AI song because you make money off of it. But this one is straight and clear cut. So it's like, yeah, if you pay for their thing, you pay for the subscription or the fee to use the generator. Like you can put it out as a song and get paid for it. I mean, so there's all these crazy things. But now I could use this on this stream, the song that I generated, and I'm hoping not. I don't think it's going to get taken down by YouTube because apparently this is like my song now because I paid for it, I guess. I put the words in and the vibe and this is what it spit out. It's so good. I think so. And when I say so good, because it really just applies to what we're talking about, where we're here, the TGI Fridays and back in the day. And like I said, I think this would be a great song to do a video for. I want to do a video for this song. So right now I don't have a video for it. I'll just play the song and you'll see the words. I did make this lyric video. I mean, it's very basic, but it's just the words. But being in Cleveland, there's this place that I found that Dan and I found that is downtown Cleveland. It's called the Brown Hoist. Big shout out to the Brown Hoist. Adam is awesome. He literally took everything in my head. Holly's Playhouse. Jess, Tom, I know you guys saw it. I'm only talking to you too because I know you saw some of this. Anyone else out there might have seen it. Like he took the idea of Holly's Playhouse and he has it. I mean, he has it. What's everything that was in my head, he has. It's like, it's a huge, huge historic building. He bought it and he has all these different rooms and downstairs. Why I bring this up, downstairs in the basement, because I mean, everyone's the basement. This place is insane. He has like different rooms. He has a ballroom. He has studios. But it has that really vintage, like cool, like one of the oldest elevators through those lifts. I mean, it's just a really interesting place. And I want to go and film there. I'm going to film some like footage for some of my shows and my music videos. He's an awesome guy. And he literally brought my vision to life. Like I said, it's like the outer, everything that's been in my head. And down in one of his rooms in the basement or on the lower floor is like a nostalgia room. And it has Nintendos and it has pinball machines and it has all this stuff. And I said, we should really shoot a music video for this. And I even have a vision where, you're on the couch. I said, that's going to be a hard one because we don't have a couch currently. I'm like, yeah, we got to get a couch so we could shoot the scene for the video. But we're going to shoot a music video for this song. So we're almost at the top of the hour here. Should we play the song? What time is it? 7:55. Wow, this has gone fast. Okay, let's see. Jim Tim has some information here. He says you could subcontract them. And if you want to bring unnamed music artist, my cousin can help you out to bring in great music. Awesome. Yes, we will definitely talk. I'm sorry. I haven't been ignoring you or anything. It's just like I have a little have to put on a list because it's just everything. It's just time goes so fast. I'm like kind of always balancing. What should I work? I want to work on my music, but I need to try to get all that stuff out. And then we're doing this and these things take forever. And then I'm helping Dan with Politishock and the network. It's just not enough hours in the day, right? It's like all these things you want to do, but realistically, it's like, oh, what can you do? So we just go one thing at a time. I'm always like, my music's coming someday. It's coming. I swear. The photo shoot is Wonderful. I've been waiting years for that. And that's at www.hollismahady.com. There's some a little more risque photos than I'm used to. But I said, you know what? New year, new me. And it's about not hiding anymore. And I have my first song is called Covers, and it's about unveiling the covers of your soul and not hiding anymore. So we're not hiding here. And I love the photos. They're beautiful. She did such a good job. I was like, that's me? Like, it didn't like some of them, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, wow. Look at loads of makeup and all that." They're very cool. Yes. Tom knows. Tom says, um, "Running a network is very time consuming for sure." Is Tom again. Oh, there we go. Cole County Entertainment in the house. And do me a favor, anybody out there listening. I know I see there's eyeballs in here. Feel free to drop a message in the chat. I would love to talk to you. It's always more fun when people chime in and they, you never know where the conversation's going to go. But do me a favor right now. If you want more great entertainment, more great shows, they have wonderful podcasts. And that's the Cole County Entertainment. They're right here, guys. If you're watching this on YouTube, go and give them a follow right now. He's always putting live stuff up. Every time I look, he have something up. I'm like, wow. I mean, and I know how time consuming it is. It's like you barely have time to freaking breathe. I'm like, oh my gosh, even everything we're gonna do together. I'm like, oh, I gotta do it, but we're gonna add the shows and we're gonna work together and do everything. Of course. Cole County Entertainment, they are awesome. And we are here to support each other, guys, because doing it together alone is tough. Trust me, I don't want to be annoying like the squeaky wheel. I don't want to be like, oh, it's so hard. I'd be like, oh, and everyone's like, oh, just shut up already. But we keep it real here. We keep it real here on Hollistics. And I'm your host, Hollis Mahady, in case you didn't know, in case you're just stopping in for the first time and you're like, who is this girl? Her name's Hollis Mahady, and her website is, we'll go back to that at the top of the hour here. Her website is, I could just say it. There it is. Hollismahady.com. Go ahead and check it out. I'm a musician and a content creator, a radio show host, and so much more. We are here to give connection to each other. And it's a very hard world sometimes. I think people are overwhelmed, and it's just, like I said, we're so busy. You have to, I don't know, we get distracted so easily, and it's hard to get anyone's attention. And you spend all these hours making this great content, and then you put out there and it's like, hold on, I have it. No, not that one. Oh, I just poured my heart and soul and 10,000 hours into this video, and then how do I get anybody to see it? Oh, is it bad? No one likes me. It sucks. It's like, no, there's like 8 million people on the internet who just put a video out, and the algorithm, you have not cracked the code. The algorithm hasn't found you yet. Just keep trying. Just put it up. There's no rhyme or there's a method to it, because trust me, you can pay people lots of money to take courses on how to hook people. I said, well, if you can find some people have attention spans beyond the 1 second hook, they give it a chance. There's good content out there. But unfortunately, the people who are making the real stuff, they don't have time to figure out, what should I do in the first 3 seconds that's really stupid, has nothing to do with the video, just so they'll watch it. But do we want that audience? I don't know. But you'll put it out there. And I said, oh my God, my new music video is coming out. I've worked so hard to die. I've bled. I've died for it. And then you put it out, you put a reel out, and it's like, one person, 5 people saw it, and 1 negative comment. Like, it's like, but it's been getting better. Okay, no, I'm joking, but you're not, and then you have to, don't look at the comments, but that you have to look at them too. And that brings me to another segment, the comment of the day. And I just started talking about the comments on air, not because I even planned this, but when you're putting your stuff back out there, you're going to get the comments, right? Well, thank you. Get an oil can so it doesn't squeak. These are some of the comments, and I just got to put them up here. Let's see. Okay, so sorry about that. But no, I'm just like, sometimes I'm doing multitasking here, and I don't like to have silence on the air. You could lose someone if it's silent. Sometimes silence is golden, guys. But I guess not on the radio or on the streaming. So as this happens, sometimes I lost where I was. Hold on. Maybe the crickets will remind me. Oh, yeah. The sound of when you put a video out into the void of 8 billion people and you're like, on TikTok, you're like, oh my gosh, I just put out the best reel ever. And it's like, oh, no, but you know what? As they say, you gotta like, I talked about the comment of the day and stuff, and it just became like, let's do the comment of the day because getting back on the air, I was like, you know what? I have a microphone and this is talk therapy, right? It's talk therapy. That's what Dan always says. Sometimes, you know, especially in the beginning when you're out here, you're just like on an island alone and you're like, that's why it's lovely. It's lovely when you guys decide to come in and drop a comment in the chat because it's nice. It's people out there and they're watching and we could talk and it's fun. But when there's no one there and you don't know, and you know, you replay your episode and people will see it, you know, but you don't know if anyone's listening or watching. And then you get these comments. And I just started talking about a comment. Do you hear voices in your head? Yes, I do. I hear my own voice. You know, that's the voice like, should I really say what I'm really thinking? That's the filter, right? That's the comment. I talked about that on a show a couple days ago. It was like, there's your response to the world and how you should be and how you should handle that. And then there's your real comment. You know, when you read a bad comment or a nice comment, there's usually more bad than nice, right? Unfortunately, like, or when someone makes you angry or a boss says something to you and oh yeah, that's a voice in the head. That's my voice in the head is like, don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it. Take a breath. Don't send that email that you really want to send. You know, it's just like, yeah, that's the voice I hear. But other than that, not too many voices, but usually just my voice. Sometimes I'll hear my mom's voice. Sometimes I hear my dad's voice. Sometimes I'll hear voices of, you know, people like advice they've given you and stuff like that. So, but with the crickets, yeah. But what was I saying? Yeah, so we are, you know, navigating our way through the comments and stuff like that. But I said, oh, I have a microphone now. So if it's talk therapy, it kind of just happened where, you know, the first comment I got, I know what you mean. Yeah, no, the multiple personalities. So unfortunately, I didn't have that, but you know, some people really do, you know, but you hear these. Oh, now I totally lost what I was going to say. When this happens, I go to commercial break and then we regroup because we are going to get to that song. I'm telling you, it's worth the wait. This song is worth the wait here. Let's go to a song. I want to try to find that Epidemic Sound commercial for you guys too. But should we play a little Dr. Wayne? No, maybe not right this second. Here, let's do this one. I don't even know what it is. I forget. Here, try this. 15 show slots are now open on Voice of the People USA radio and television network. With millions of monthly listeners worldwide, VOP USA is accessible on Roku TV, Fire TV, Android TV, the mobile apps, and the web. An alternative to oversaturated, algorithm-driven social media. Our network is the first streaming network backed by creators, not big tech, not special interests. This is true independence. To learn more, visit VOPUSARadio.com. Join the network. And just in case, are you enjoying the podcast? If you'd like to support what I'm building, you can buy me a coffee. Every bit of support helps me keep this podcast going and release my music independently. You can leave a one-time tip or become a member for a few dollars a month and unlock exclusive content and behind-the-scenes footage you won't find anywhere else. Just visit buymeacoffee.com/Hollis-Mahady or scan the code you see on the screen. And again, almost at the top of the hour here, if you're enjoying the show, drop a tip in the tip jar, scan the code there, go over to hollismahady.com and you could buy me a coffee there. Or you could go to buymeacoffee.com/Hollis-Mahady. The link is all on my website and you could see the different memberships I have there and all the things I was talking about. Or again, go to the website. And here's one of the pictures I was talking about that Andrea, she did. And I love this picture. It's so cool. That's not it. I love. See, that's not it, but that is the picture. But wait, I have one of just my website. No, it's not here. All right, well, Here, I'll play this one in the meantime. I think one of the pictures is in there too. Yes, here's a picture. It's me playing the piano. The new picture is from on. When you're truly independent, creating music isn't just art. It's devotion. It's late nights, long days, and pouring your own time, energy, and money into something you believe in, something you feel called to bring into the world. Right now, the world is overflowing with content, music everywhere. So much of it generated in seconds by machines. And somewhere in that noise, real artists are fighting to be heard. The ones who spent years learning their craft. The ones who turned their pain into songs. The ones who kept going when it would have been easier to quit. Most people scroll past without thinking about the soul behind the sound. But if you ever find music that moves you, that heals something in you, that makes you feel less alone, remember, there's a real person behind it. Because good music isn't noise. It's something sacred. If you discover music that speaks to you, support the people who made it, if you can. Here's the picture at the end there. So yes, buymeacoffee.com, dropping a tip will automatically enter you in the running to win a hand-painted lyric sheet. And that's a $50 value. Actually, it's much higher than that because that came from the soul. And they are limited edition. I have about 30 of them. I'm not sure I'll be doing more. Possibly, but that is the first batch I have, and I've been saving those for many years, and they're all packaged nicely. And the winner we will pick out of a cup. Or get anybody. So if you donate a few times, every time you donate, it's $1. Even if you do a few here and there, every time you will be put in the cup, and then we will pick a winner live on air once I hit that $100 mark. And I'm about at $60 now. Because I've been doing this every night, and those generous folks out there, I appreciate it. You didn't have to, but I'm so glad you did. And I appreciate the support. So thank you so much. Going into the comments over here. Oh, it made me go speechless. It's like, oh, yes. Making me think. Yes. Well, the thing that makes me go speechless sometimes is like, you're trying to do a million things here. So I would love to have a producer eventually, but we're going to manifest that. And then we're going to look back on this week and say, remember episode 6? And she was like, because you're trying to talk because you don't want to be like, hold on, guys. Not saying anything. So you're trying to talk and do a million things at once. But hey, if you're not going to do it, who is? This is the way it is for many, many people, unless you are fortunate enough to have a lot of big bucks to hire a whole team and, or to have help. That's why it's important. We help each other. Let's help each other because we all know what it's like. You just got to get that system in place. And that's next what we're working on. So we are going to be testing a new system, an automation system, and we have possibly a sponsor on the way. And I will tell you all about that. So you're going to be seeing this grow in real time. But as I said, back to what I said earlier, where we're trying to get to the point, we're talking about the song I'm going to play, and we're going to talk about the comments of the day. So maybe we should get to the comments of the day. Because we found a nice comment. And I like to give a shout out to those people who are nice. Of course, we address some of the negative ones. As I said, it's talk therapy. And it actually spawned a whole episode. I think that was episode 3. When someone told me, I'm posting all this stuff, like nice comment or, nice about supporting creatives and this. And then this guy said, get a normal job. And I am not going to talk about it again, but like go back and watch the episode. It's like get a normal job and other bad advice. It's like saying that to someone who's creative, who is building, who spent so much time building. They don't understand. They don't understand that this is a real job. And it's in those phases in between where you're spending a lot of money because you believe and you take risks and you believe and you're spending a lot of money because you're building something valuable that will ultimately be profitable. But it's those times in between that's very hard for people, musicians, creatives, when you're constantly pouring money into buying the microphone that sounds good, or you're trying to buy advertising so people find it, So there's a whole episode about that, but that's why we address some of the negative comments. I don't want to be negative or be like, oh, because I think I said last night at the end of the episode, we are here leading by example. Like I said, I always say, it's like, it doesn't hurt to be nice, be kind, or don't say anything at all. People, but that's not the way of the world, especially online. There's the trolls and all that. They just want, they comment mean things. And you're always like, well, and they always have the advice. They always know how to do it better than you, but they're not doing it. Odds are they're not doing anything at all except writing mean comments online. But here you are, so why listen to advice from people you would never take advice, or from people who aren't doing anything? So you were learning and growing. You got to let this stuff wash off your back. But sometimes easier said than done. But today it's three positive comments. We're going to go to a positive comment. So now we're rounding out the week. I think I talked about 5 comments because the first 2 I didn't do it. Because it was the night before I went on that I got the comment, and the whole, the episode came from that. So now we have a third nice comment. I like to recognize the positive comments. So we will go to, hold on. I want to do a sound effect. The comment of the day, and I have this one preloaded. So we're going to show the comment of the day, and hopefully you could still hear me. And you could see it. Hold on. There it is. Yay. Okay, cool. This worked. So very quickly here. Here's a comment. And I said, this is how we do it. This is how you do it. If I had that song, or my producer, I'd say, can you play that song right now? Because this is how you do it. We have to talk the positive comments here. And I love this guy. This is Cherry R. Simpson. He deserves a big round of applause. And I am going to do the round of applause on the computer because it sounds better. Cherry R. Simpson. Yeah, brother. Rainbows, love, bring the love, 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 love. I love you. Thank you so much. He's the kind of guy, like, so supportive. I've met him in the UK, a rock and roll cabaret. He gave me a t-shirt. I don't know if I could find it, but I had it forever. Such a nice guy. And just one of those people who he always comments. He always just a heart, a rainbow, bring on the rainbow, love, love, love. And I was saying last night, it takes time to do that. How many people do that in this day where there's so much? And again, it's not always people's fault. I don't comment on everybody's stuff. I certainly don't go out of my way to put anything mean. But if I see something, and it actually made me more mindful, it's like, again, you can't take it personally because no one comments, because people are busy. They probably don't even see your post half the time. So it's not like that. But when someone actually always goes out of their way to just leave a heart or a comment or a like, or they share it. But this guy in particular, he says here, Cherry R. Simpson says, rah. He always says, rah, 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 Hollis, love, 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 bring on the rainbow. And another one, you can't keep a good girl down. That was very nice. Thank you. I appreciate that. Because he knew me and loved zombies, and that's where we met. We met in the UK. And he just got it. He gets it. He's a creative himself. I believe he's a singer in a band. I don't know if he's still doing that. I think so. But God, we got to get him on the show sometime. Maybe he'll come on and do a little interview. That would be a great time because I'm going to have guests on the show. But again, it's just something like, these are the people like this that keep you going sometimes, because life is hard. I always say the same thing. The struggle is real, and especially when you're trying to, I'm going to say break into where you're coming back and you're putting yourself out there, you're being vulnerable. And with the obstacles of how it's so oversaturated now and everybody's an entertainer. He said there's more entertainers than an audience anymore because everybody can do it, right? Everybody's a rock star. Everybody's everybody could have a podcast. Everyone could have a TV show. Everyone can do all this stuff. So there's more entertainers practically than people to be entertained. So the choice is, and it's very hard to break through and people to notice your stuff or come and see it. So again, just a big shout out to Cherry because he goes out of his way to be kind. And I think that's a great example to live by. Like I said, here we're going to go out of our way to do the opposite, or do the opposite what most people do, or be the change you want to see in the world. I think it's true. It's just, it's very hard to, they say, kill them with kindness. I mean, that is hard sometimes when people are rude and you just want to fire back, right? You know how it is. It's like, oh, contain your emotions. Like, okay, just try to, it's not easy, but does it really ever make you, it does in the moment sometimes be mean back. But I always try to take the higher road. You always hear that. You're like, oh, my mom would always say, take the higher road. I'm like, well, I'm sick of taking the higher road. You just want to give it to them, and fight back. And sometimes they do deserve it. And maybe there's exceptions. I know Dan thinks differently about it. Dan just tells people off and everything, but we're different. Dan's fed up and I get it, but I'm just like, okay, because at the end of the day, you get back what you put out, right? So you put back a lot of, if you put back bad energy, it comes back or whatever. Sometimes it makes you feel good. Still, that's up for debate. But my point is here, we are going to take the high road on Holistics. We try to be the change we want to see in the world. I think that was the Dalai Lama who said that. I'm sure a lot of people said that. I don't know who originally said it. It's a profound, but well, thank you, Jane. Let me see. Want to thank you for everything you do. You're truly blessed by Heavenly Father, by His grace and mercy. Keep pushing to be the very best you can. You can keep that. Well, thank you so much. And right back to you, right back at you. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I do. I don't go into deep like religion on the show, but I believe in God. I pray every night and I say thank you for every day. And I bless the friends and the fans because you have, not fans, but our friends and our close friends and my mom. And I say a prayer for many people. Keep us safe and keep us healthy for the next day and everything, and our animals and all that. Because, it's easy to get bogged down sometimes by the negativity because I think there's so much of it in the world. And the world's heavy and it's dark and it's so easy to be a troll online. Because people forget there's someone behind the computer and they're just, what is it called? Keyboard warriors, right? Keyboard warriors and all that. And there's a lot of them. And they just forget there's a soul behind the song. There's a soul behind the computer screen, but we don't think like that, not enough. And that's why I said I want to be different. And I'm here showing up every night at 7 p.m., showing up to just connect. It'd be great having segments and we're going to do all this fun stuff. And Rome was not built in a day. These things happen and the flow comes. But it's just important. I said to myself, I've always felt my calling and my job in the world is, to be someone who has empathy and just be there for people. I always wanted to help people. I always felt I just want to be there for people who feel alone and struggling because I know how that feels. It's just, I don't know. I could get very philosophical, but that's a what's it called? A quality or trait that's missing a lot. It's empathy, just empathy in the world. Doing just the decent thing. I just feel like some people don't even know what that is anymore. It's like, I always use this example. Like, I'll see you tomorrow. We'll meet at 5, and then you never see them. They don't meet you. They don't call you. They don't. And when COVID hit, I remember at Lowe's. I mean, this was afterwards, but just even the customer service is like not as good as it used to be. Just where people just don't care. They're just kind of like, oh, you're lucky that we'll even show up these days. So I definitely sound like, like I'm showing my age here. I'm like back in my day, remember? But yes, you're only Cole County Entertainment says you're only on show 7, but it's like you're on show 700. Thank you. Applause. Keep creating it. Let's do an applause. Hold on. Yes, that is so nice. Thank you so much. Well, here, let me do it. Because that deserves does it deserve a dance pop? Does it deserve a bounce? Does it deserve an intense applause? Amen. And right. Okay, now it's going to keep going here. Uh-oh. It's dance pop. Okay. No, thank you so much. It's just, I actually did go to ESU College, Strasbourg University for radio and broadcasting. And someone told me last night, someone I love and admire and respect, his name is Timothy. He told me that my voice is a gift, and everybody's voice is a gift, right? But ever since I was a kid, I loved singing and I loved, speaking and entertaining. And you got to use your gift. If you were given a gift, now I said everybody's given a gift. Now some people are like, oh, I can't sing at all, and like when you could sing or you can't, but have fun, sing karaoke. But certain people are given a gift of lots of different things, right? There's like 700, I don't know how many. Someone got to Google this. Hey, producer, editor, how many kinds of intelligences are there? Because there's a lot of different intelligence. There's people who are just have the gift of, they can look at a piece of furniture in the box and just put it together in like 5 minutes. I'm like, how do they do that? There's different kinds of intelligences. There's obviously there is a certain amount that they say, like, there's a musical intelligence. Some people are just like, can really pick it up. So what's your gift? And I'm a big proponent, is that the right word? Proponent of people using their gift, because in a creative gift like a music or a voice and stuff, it's not always easy to make money with it and be able to pursue your gift while being able to pay for the matrix of the world and all the bills and stuff, because, it's tough. It's competitive, and it's not always easy to get a creative gig. Yeah, it's easier to get a job as a customer service worker because you need them. Like, they're everywhere. You need people to, I mean, I don't know how much longer, AI is taking over, but it's easier to go because, they're needed, waitresses and teacher, and like, but how many people really need someone to like talk to them? I mean, people do need that. I think that's important. And I'm not talking about therapists. I'm just talking about, using your voice or your presence or whatever your gift is. So someone told me last night, my voice is a gift. And it is, and it would be a shame not to use it. Why do you think our network's called the voice of the people? Dan's voice is a gift. I mean, Dan has a great voice, and he has a lot of other gifts too. I mean, he has a gift for fighting for justice, but like, and Jim Tim, no, Dan, can Dan sing? Dan won't sing in front of me really, but he can. He's gets self-conscious. I'm like, just sing. But let's see this. Oh, thank you. Were one who helped save me in college where I was so alone. You talked to me as a human. Oh, thank you. Well, I mean, not even thank you. I just mean, like, it's crazy, Jim, because I try to remember, and I'm just like, because you said we were in classes together, but I know if we met in person, when I see you again, I'm sure we'll see again. We'll see each other again, and we're actually going to be back in Pennsylvania. Do you live in Pennsylvania? I remember you said you were in Maine. I think you were just visiting, but I know. But I don't know what I was going to say. I lost my train of thought. But I mean, yeah, I think it's just using your gift, using your whatever it is. Oh, and I was saying about Dan's gift. You got to follow that gift. But like I said, it's these creative pursuits, and they're hard. They're hard to make money with. Again, brings me back to when someone says get a normal job. I'm like, screw you, pal. I could get a normal job any day. I mean, and when I say normal job, I mean, there's work, and then there's jobs, and then there's passions and careers. And I think a job is something you hate doing, right? It's like, oh God, I got to go to work, got to go to job. It's a gift if you're able to actually make money from what you love to do, what you're passionate, what you're good at. But the world doesn't make it that easy to do that, So again, these are subjects I've talked about, and these are common themes that are going to be running through the thread of Holistics, because we're here to talk real. Okay, there we go. Thank you, Tom. From your friendly neighborhood producer, there are eight commonly recognized types of intelligence, with a possible ninth. Yeah, there's different ones. Emotional intelligence is a big one. Like, that's one that I don't think a lot of people are lacking that one. Just emotional, like knowing, like, okay, maybe I shouldn't say that. That's emotional intelligence, I guess. Oh, yay, we got MAGA dirt bikers back in the room. Okay, I'm preparing a little clip that I'm going to save in my gallery for the next video compilation. Yes, which you and Dan gave me a treasure trove from last night. I can't wait to see that. That will be on another show. But yes, I love you, MAGA dirt biker. I'm glad you're home safe. Welcome to the Friday night edition, the TGIF Friday. I promise I'm going to get to the song eventually. Joe, I think you're gonna appreciate this one. I'm talking about myself here being an 80's baby, and we were talking about TGI Fridays with all the shows, and I said, here on Voice of the People USA Radio and Holistics, obviously I'm airing on VOP USA Radio and Television Network. I am actually on television. If you go and check out your Roku TV, I will be right there. I'll be like, hi guys, and Fire TV and Apple TV, Android TV. I think I already said that. I'm on the apps and coming into your living room. So I said, we got to make use of this, and we need to make our own TGI Friday. My dream would be to get 4 original sitcoms, and put this together as a real TGIF. But in the meantime, until then, we just start working towards that. But we have the theme song. And I promise, if you watch to the end of this video, I will play it. Those? Dan always laughs at me and says, oh my gosh, I never met someone who watch this to the end of the video like you. You know those ads where it's like, you get the trick of life or anti-aging. You know, you're just missing this one vitamin or this one mineral that's going to change your life. It's or you know, whatever it is, or the one weight loss. And they make you watch the whole video. And then at the end, it's like, put in your email and we will send you it for just $20, you know. So that's the story with that. But we still have the comment of the day up there. I think one more time, we are going to give a round of applause for Cherry before we remove him. But I don't want to remove him because he's such a good person and a nice comment. There we go. So we will get Cherry off there because we will do this. And I did prepare this. Let's see if it's actually there. The media. And it is something that I prepared today before I got here. Here you go. Take a look at this. I was taking a sip there. Hold on one second. Okay. I'm getting thumbs up from the peanut gallery. That's something that not everybody knows. I said that in the UK once and they were like, what's the peanut gallery? I was like, do you guys remember that old saying like, no comments from the peanut gallery? We got to look into that story. Oh, wise one over there. Producer. What's the peanut gallery? No, it's okay if we can't, but look it. So yes, very quick because you won't hear me talking while I show this. We're going to have our own TGI Fridays. We're going to have our own TGI Fridays here. And we have Holly's Playhouse. This is on my network. So that's a little docu-series you could watch. Oh, here it is, guys. I couldn't find it. It was in my overlay section. Okay, but yeah, I'll talk about that later. This is the Buy Me the Coffee, the memberships, and the lyric sheet. I'll show you real quick. This lyric sheet you can win if you tip $1 or more. You can have your name dropped in the cup, and a big thank you to Joe again, and to Timothy, and to everybody who has contributed, and you guys are the best. Thank you so much. I don't, I can't say thank you enough. You guys care, and I really appreciate it. But here we go. So you can win one of these. I don't know if you could see my mouse pointing to it. This is why I watch my shows back, because I'm like, okay, I have to fix that. You can't hear me talking over that. But maybe you don't need me here to hear anything over this next picture. Let me know what this makes you feel. Does this make you feel any sort of way when you see this? It's going to be very silent for like 5 seconds. Here we go. Did you hear it? Beep, beep. I got to get that sound effect. You know, that like the dial up. I can't even do it myself. You know the dial up sound. It's when you saw this. Did this spark any memories here? God. I had so much that look, okay, back to the 80s here, right? If you know, you know. Who had that? Who had the dial up? That was like the first time computers, it was just like, the phone was still, if you're using your landline. The peanut here we go. Tom says the peanut gallery refers to a group of spectators or critics who offer unsolicited. I'm laughing because this is like all of our comments we get. Okay, the peanut gallery refers to a group of spectators or critics who offer unsolicited, often trivial or critical advice or commentary. It was in episode, I don't know, last week. Someone wrote a comment, and I'm going to do a little compilation of all the comments. Now, this person, I don't need to get back into it. You go back and watch the episode. But real quick, I'll just say it was the unsolicited advice. And I talked about how do you take criticism? How do you take constructive criticism? Because, if you want to get better and learn and grow, like, I said, it's I think much with criticism. It's the way you what's the word? Present it. It's the way that you tell someone, oh, you know what? You have to do it. The way you handle it. Like, you don't say, oh, that was bad, or I don't know. Or if you say, oh, you know what? That was good, but I bet you if you do this little trick, I bet you might get more followers, or try that. Or you know what? That microphone, was not that good, but it's not your fault. Why don't you try this or try this setting? It's how you handle it. It's how you tell someone, because they immediately, I think people get like defensive. You're like, what? Well, it's my show. You're not doing it. I am. You get defensive when it's told to you the wrong way. There's a way. That's emotional intelligence, right? How do you nurture someone's heart and their talent so they don't go hide away and say, oh, forget it. I won't do it again. It was bad. Because I said that too. Like, people don't realize you could scar people and they might not ever go back on front of the camera again or on the microphone. If you're younger, I mean, not just if you're younger or whatever it is, singing or something, you have to be so careful, because especially for young kids and young people, because I've heard stories like, oh, after my teacher told me I never wrote again, or I never sang again after that, because they do it in a way that's not constructive. It's not nice. It's not saying, hey, you know what? Let's try it this way, try it that way. And they don't do that. So I was saying with the advice, it's like, I can take advice, but most people want to criticize without offering a solution. And I said this again as an example, and I think it bears repeating. If someone's going to criticize without unsolicited, when I didn't ask for it, you want to just put your 2 cents in, like the guy the other day said, oh, your stream, it's a little busy for me. And I don't know, maybe it was just like, I see what you're trying to do, but it's like, if it was, personally, I would like to see this. And I'm thinking, I'm not going to change everything just so you'll like it, because if you try to change for everybody, you're never going to please everybody. So you got to please yourself. That's why I played this song. But it's like one of those things where if you're going to come and say, hey, your microphone sounds like crap, or hey, they didn't say this, but I'm just saying, like, or, oh, I would do it this way, or that thumbnail looks like crap, or whatever it is, then follow it up with, but you know what? If they say your microphone sounds crappy, and they're just mean. Now, if this never happened to me, but if someone said, hey, that microphone, it's not sounding so good. I have an extra one in my garage. I'll bring it over. I'll ship it to you. Why don't you try that? It's like, okay, you want to come and criticize. Everybody's the critic on the sideline, the peanut gallery. Rarely are the people in the arena. Who's the man in the arena? They're not many, because most people want to offer their unsolicited advice and tell you how they would do it, how much better they know how to do it. They're not doing it. So they criticize the people who are, instead of offering some advice. Now, if they were to say something like, I would used to get offended sometimes. I'd be like, well, then you do it. It's like, why don't you offer me some help? If you think that, you like the song, but that you couldn't hear, or this was, why don't you, and you know how to do it? Well, why don't you offer to help? Because people always want to criticize. If you criticize in a nice way and say, I don't know, but I could help you with that. No one ever says that. I mean, very rare is someone going to say, hey, I know how to do that. You know what? I could show you how to do that a better job. I could show you how to mix that audio a little bit better, or I could show you how to do that. No, it's just like, oh, that audio sucks. Oh, and it's just, I've been very honest on my journey here as I'm growing and getting, there's things are going to improve and they get better. Even this show, we're on 7 and it's better than 1, because, it took a while here, but we're only on day 7. But it's like people want to, give their unsolicited advice, the peanut gallery. So there we go. And I think that's important to say. It's like, one, the lessons, right? You're never going to be able to avoid it. People just want to hate and be trolls and not comment or put thumbs down. And, maybe they truly don't like it or whatever, but why? Who goes, that says more about them. That it always is, it's like, that reflects them more than the person putting it out. So if you're going to offer, now if you ask someone how they think, you be prepared. They might say, if they're truthful, a lot of people who are your friends, oh, that's why, always ask your friends or family for advice. So they're not going to be honest. Oh, that was great. But you were on mute the whole time. No, it's good. So, but if you're going to ask for advice, be prepared. But even those people giving those advice, it's so important, I think, to do it kindly, just to be careful. Because like I said, that great artist or musician who never sang again after the teacher was like, oh, that was horrible. Maybe they could have turned out to be someone really great or have great music, but they were, they gave up really quick. So I think it's important, but we can never get away from the trolls and the bad comments. But the point is, if you're going to offer advice, help. if you have criticism or something that it was on, like, ask offer a solution, because I'm totally into when people say, I would love the help if someone said, no, you know what, I know how to, this is gonna be so much better for you, try this. But most of the time it's just like, oh, that sucks, or oh, what was that, so that's it. I'm so sorry. Was that a rant? Okay, Mormon Fuzzy, the peanut gallery. Well, we know that. Let's just, we're gonna reply that to the peanut gallery. Because I always said, I remember back to my beginning story when I said that in England, I was said, oh, the peanut gallery. And I thought they would know what that is. And someone was like, what is that? And isn't that the peanut gallery, like the guy from the Muppets, those two like judges up top who are always like, what happened there? Oh, there goes my green screen a little bit. You're not supposed to see that. I'm live in a studio. Oh my gosh. Oh, my background just went somewhere. Hold on. I don't know how that happened. Where'd my TGI Fridays go? Here, hold on. Where'd my little TGI Fridays go? Uh-oh. Holy moly. We're gonna play that song. I'm just making you wait. Watch to the end of the video to hear the best song of the night. This is AI generated, in case you didn't hear. And I'm not a big proponent of AI generated music in certain cases. Like I said, Voice of Freedom Records, my record label that I'm putting myself out on. I don't have anyone else on it yet, but we have some things happening. But with my own music, I write, I play the piano, I sing, I play the harmonica, I write songs. That's not generated, but I will use it for certain things, like, like for instance, the song that we're going to play shortly. But I want to find what happened in my background here. Where's my, look at this one. Will this work? Oh, you know what? I have to be smaller. I think this is what's happened. Is it that there? How cool is that? That's not with all the stuff, but that's pretty 80s. Almost like the Rubik's Cube. I love checkered. But here. There she is. This is definitely a little busy. So if you don't like it, I'm sorry. Well, too bad. But then send me another background that integrates it all nicely and it's not busy. Because that's what I thought about the guy who said that. Oh, it's too busy. And I'm thinking, well, here, I have an idea. I will send you my login. I'll send you my login to all these programs I have to use to do all this. And why don't you fix it for me? But I said, you can't please everyone. Please yourself. So people like it, people don't. Everyone's got an opinion. Okay, Jim Tim says good night. So good night, Jim. Thank you for being here. I'll see you soon. You have a great night. And thank you for coming into the chat room. And now, what does Maga Dirbite says? Maga says, it's pointless to have some nice things in life. You cannot share them with good people. Yes, exactly. Exactly. And you said, your mom had the dial-up, but I never owned a computer. Yeah. Aw. Who do we got here? Who is that? Is that Kathleen? Many awesome fun memories in the 80s hanging by your home in Scranton with your family. And yes, with my grandma babysat you and Chris. Aw, Kathleen is here. Yay, let's do an applause. Wait, hold on. This is Kathleen. I remember you as a little girl. I've only seen your pictures. You're beautiful, as I remember it as a little girl. And now, but we've actually haven't seen each other in what? Well, how old were we? We're like 7? No, I'm even younger. Here, wait, this is for you, Kathleen. Thank you for coming in. Kathleen, I can't believe it. So Kathleen, talk about this is crazy. In the 80s, hanging by your home in Scranton with your family, and my grandma babysat you and Chrissy. Chrissy's my sister. And your grandma Betty was she watched us after school and before school. And I remember Kathleen, she'd always be going over, was it in Greenridge did you live? But she was always going to go after she was leaving our house, she was going to get Kathleen. And that's you. Yeah. See, isn't it crazy when you think back? This episode, it's cool that you tuned into this one. It's Friday. So I made this little background with all stuff that reminds me of the 80s. And you're my age, so you're going to remember all these things, the dial-up and the TGI Fridays. I'm going to play this again for Kathleen because she just popped in. Let me know if you remember this, Kathleen. Ready?
It's Friday night, and the mood is right. We're going to have some fun, show you how it's done, TGI. Hello. Sometimes the world looks perfect, nothing to rearrange. Sometimes you just change. No matter what the odds are this time, nothing's gonna stand in my way. This flame in my heart, like a long lost friend, gives every dark street a light at the end. Standing tall on the wings of my dream, rise and fall on the wings of my dream. Through the rain and thunder, the wind and haze, I'm bound for better days. My life, my dream, nothing gonna stop me now. My life, my dream, nothing gonna stop me now.
And of course,
Nothing gonna stop me now.
Earl and Sinclair. I always laugh when I see it. Let's see. Let's go back to the chat here. Nick, yes. Awesome podcast. Lots of love. Keep in touch. Many awesome fun. Aw, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for popping in here. Yes, from New Jersey. You're in New Jersey. Scranton, shout out. My cousin lives in Scranton. Yes. My cousins live in Scranton too. I hope Lori gets in here one of these days. Lori is, I love Lori. I mean, she's my cousin. Of course, I love her, and I love Leslie, her sister too. So we got to get everybody in here. We need to reunite soon. My cousin lives south side in Scranton. I will visit him. Let me know. I will be back around Easter. I know we tried it in the past and to meet up, and I was moving and my mom was moving, but it would be awesome. I remember Full House in background by your home. I know all of those shows, right? Yeah, I just decided tonight here. I got to put myself back on. How do I put myself back on the full screen? Sorry, Kat. I'm my own producer. I'm going to add me back to the stage, and we got to go. There we go. Yeah, and this just happens. I thought, Friday nights, because I'm going to be here. So pop in anytime. Please do. I will be here every night at 7 o'clock, Monday through Friday. This was just a weird week where I just started it last Saturday, and I went 7 nights in a row. It's a lot. So, because I do so much myself here, I set everything up, and it's a lot. So, but yeah, I just thought, come on, talk. I'm going to have some guests on some episodes, and I have a guest coming on, but maybe we'll do one night a guest. But I think Friday nights should be the night where we could reminisce. We could pretend it's the 80s, because that was such a big part of, I know, our generation. And there's times, I'm not even kidding, I spoke about it earlier in the beginning of the show. I think about TGIF and I'm like, just, you miss those simple old days. But you know what? Since Kathleen is here, I hope stay as long as you can. But I'm going to been talking about this song that I'm going to play that AI generated, but it's literally for people. It's all for us. So if you guys like it, you're going to get to know it, because I'm going to play it every Friday. So why don't we play it? Let me look at this comment real quick from Jess. And Jess says, if you guys hang around for a bit over Easter, let us know. We can meet up. I was thinking that, Jess, we definitely have to meet up. Maybe all 4 of us, you could meet Dan, and all 4 of us can shoot a little episode too for the Cole County Entertainment, and you guys can be on Voice of the People. So we'll do something. Absolutely. And all right, Kathleen, this is for all of us 80s babies, as I say up here on the top, for the 80s babies, the AOL, the MTV, the Rubik's Cube. Do you guys see this here on the left, the little cereals? I would always eat these little cereals. You got Pops. I would always, what would I leave? They always threw like a cornflakes in there or something I didn't eat, or Raisin Bran. They would try to put like a healthy one, but you would go, my first choice was always, I think, Frosted Flakes, and then Pops. And then they had Rice Krispies sometimes too, Cocoa Krispies. And then you would get like the healthier ones, but we'd always get this one with the artificial flavors and all that. But hey, it's our childhood. Okay, so here we go. Enough talk finally. Let's play the song, and then I'll come back and we can talk about it. But it's a great song. It was generated by AI. As I said, I don't do my own music by AI, but this one I threw these words in there, and this is what it popped up with. And I think it's pretty freaking good. You ready, Jess? You still there? Everybody, this one's for you. This one's for everyone. I'm going to shut up finally. Here we go.
Something.
Wait, hold on. We got to do it from the beginning.
Remember when Friday night meant something? When we rushed home before the street lights came on. this is for you. Bike tires coming down the block at dusk. Hide and seek until the street lights buzz. No texts, no feeds, no scrolling screens. Just scraped up knees and childhood dreams. Take our songs off the radio. Waiting all day for our favorite shows. Living rooms glowing, laughter on cue. Friday nights felt brand new before the phones took over everything. We lived out loud, we felt the scene. Take me back to the good times go, when the world slowed down and the TVs glowed. From Super Mario Bros. To Friday night shows, we were living, laughing, and low. If you remember, this is your song. Where you came from still lives on. So pull up a chair, you belong right here. Voice of the people, U.S.A. Friday nights are here. Remember when MTV played music videos all night long, waiting to see your favorite song, blowing in cartridges just to play level 1 dreams that made our day. Dying of dysentery on the trail again. The Oregon Trail was how we learned back then. Saturday mornings, cartoons and cereal bowls. Simple joys filled our souls. No filters, no algorithms, just real life moments we were living. Take me back to the good times glow, when the world slowed down and the TVs glowed. From Mario jumps to TGIF nights, everything felt just right. If you remember, this is your song. Where you came from still lives on. Kick back, relax, stay a while. Voice of the people, U.S.A. makes it feel worthwhile. Grew up halfway between two worlds, mixtapes and modems, boys and girls. We saw the change, we felt the shift, but those memories remain a gift. So if you miss when life felt real and laughter echoed through the reel, this night's for you, come take your seat. Where past and present meet. Take me back to the golden days, when laughter filled our Fridays. From living rooms to neon screens, we're still chasing childhood dreams. If you remember, sing along. This is where you still belong. Friday night, we reunite. Voice of the people, U.S.A. feels like home tonight.
And there you have it. That's the debut. You're gonna put at the stage. Hold on. Oh, it's doing it again. No, we're gonna do it again.
Remember when Friday night meant something?
There we go. Let me put myself. Let's remove it. There, I'm back. And I lost my background. Wait. There we go. There we go. So, right? I don't know. I just think that song is so on the nail. Even the part in the bridge there when it's like, we grew up between two worlds. You know, we really are. And I said it in my first episode of Hollistics that we are living through the biggest transformation and shift in history. I mean, you know, I talk about other civilizations back in the day, and like if you're into that, ancient worlds, and you know, the world. I mean, the Earth has been here for. Again, this would be the fact checker there. It's totally fitting, right? It is. It's so good. but how long has the earth been here? I mean, could you really know how long, but it's been here for apparently billions of years. So civilizations have been here before and not. So this is the AI stuff that we're dealing with and we're living through it. And I always say that people in the 80s, my age, people like Jess and Tom and Kathleen, we're the same age. We remember this stuff. So it's like, we're in the 80s and people who are born in the 70s, 60s, maybe people a little bit younger than us. But we were the last generation without phones in high school. I didn't have a phone in high school. And then now everybody who's born in this generation, you're growing up, you're going to have a phone. It's just the way it is now. So these are certain things that only certain people would remember, like the AOL dial-up or the landline and the AOL dial-up. We have to, for one of the episodes, I got to figure that out, but get like that little like dialing it in. It should be for Friday nights. It should like be like, and then the show starts, you're like, the dialing and AOL, man. I would go in chat rooms and you remember like all those chat rooms? It was so different. I would sit up in my sister's room because we had our computer there and it literally looked like here on the corner on the right there. That's the computer I had. How about the Oregon Trail? It mentioned that. Does anyone remember that? You guys must remember that. When I feel like the Oregon Trail was like, that was definitely 80s. In the, ICQ. What's ICQ? What does that stand for? It's probably something I should know. But yeah, it's just with the AOL was like 1.0 and then it was like 5.0 and you would dial it and your phone would be busy. It was a chat. It was a chat. No, I don't remember that. ICQ. Was that like a name? Because I remember you could go to the certain chat rooms and like, 21, like male for male. I mean, there was all those different ones, female looking for whatever. And I mean, we were in high school. So I just remember being able to instant message people from high school and stuff. And you had the buddy list, the buddy list, and the door would slam when they left. I remember all these memories just coming back in real time. And hopefully people are thinking of their own memories you haven't thought of in forever, right? Like, I just remember it being in college and it was I don't know, it was someone else I lived with. And I remember I was on the top bunk and we shared a room and she had forgotten to put her like volume down and I'd be trying to sleep and all I would hear is like, doom, doom, doom. Someone signed off the buddy list. I'm like, could you turn that off finally? Or you would come in, those noises it would make. And then whatever happened to AOL? I don't think it's there anymore. I mean, obviously the chat rooms and all that. I mean, I know what happened, like we advanced and it's not that at all anymore, but that was the original, like signing into it and your phone was busy and my dad would be like, oh, get off the thing. I need to use the phone. And they would knock you off. You'd be like chatting and all of a sudden, because, your dad used the phone or something. But that's where it all started. So it's like seeing things like that, it's like only certain people really remember it. But that's why this is Friday nights dedicated to that, because this is for everybody. But as I said, someone who maybe just scrolling past is going to be like, what the heck are they talking about? But I think Friday night, this is going to be our theme. And I love 80s movies as well. Jess, do you remember Becky? Remember Marissa's cousin, Becky Walsh? Becky she wasn't our roommate. Was she our roommate? No. But Becky and I, we would always like quote Full House and we would quote like these 80s movies, like some of my favorite 80s movies, like Ghost. I mean, that was in the 80s, right? And all those like Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead and Adventures in Babysitting. These are some of my favorite movies in the 80s. And we would always just quote like Full House. And yes, no, she didn't live with us, but you remember her, right? Yeah, Becky. We would always quote like Full House. And it was just so dumb, but it was fun. It was fun. But again, all the memories. And I'm sure people out there who aren't quoting Full House, maybe they're quoting something else. But yes. So look at this. Yes, I do. I do what? Because I forget. I can't believe we're almost at the top of the hour. That means I have to play a commercial and remind people, if you're enjoying the show, support the podcast. And if you're enjoying the show, I'll say it again really slow so I could get in the flow. If you're enjoying the show.
Are you enjoying the podcast? If you'd like to support what I'm building, you can buy me a coffee.
Every bit of support helps me keep this podcast going and release my music independently. You can leave a one-time tip or become a member for a few dollars a month and unlock exclusive content and behind-the-scenes footage you won't find anywhere else. Just visit buymeacoffee.com/HollisMahady or scan the code you see on the screen. And remember, you can drop a tip in the tip jar if you just head over to buymeacoffee.com/HollisMahady. You could scan that QR code right there and it'll take you right there. You could buy me a coffee. Like, you tip your bartenders. You can leave me a tip. I accept tips and tips to support the show. It helps keep the show online. And eventually, when I make some money, I could pay an assistant who can do some stuff for me. And that would be, frankly, that would be lovely because there's lots more where this came from. But it takes time, it takes resources. So drop a tip if you're supporting the show. If you like what you're hearing, everybody who drops a tip in that tip jar that I used to have, but we won't talk about that. That was Streamlabs, my ex-boyfriend. As I said in other episodes, if you don't know what I'm talking about, it means I'm dating, but not men. I'm dating streaming services and I'm trying to find the perfect one. And it doesn't exist like the perfect person. Do they really exist? Is anyone really perfect? But drop a tip in the tip jar there. And if you do, you will automatically be entered for the chance to win. I got it back, guys. I think I found it. You will be automatically entered for the chance to win one of these beauties right here, a $50 value. Actually, it's worth way more than that, but I am selling them as well on my website here, and I might as well. We're at the top of the hour here, so I'll tell you a few ways to support me so you could get something back for your money. You can buy the Hollis Mahady Music Collection. That is 30 plus songs. All my former my band Love Zombies. I have 2 albums, an EP. I have a Christmas album. I have cover songs and originals, all there for the brand spanking little price. I don't think that makes sense, but it's the brand spanking little price of $20. Over here, we got the lyric sheets. And again, you throw a tip in there, you could automatically win one of these. We are going to pull that from the cup. We're going to do that live on air when I get to $100. I think I'm about at 60 so far. Been doing this for the past 6 nights. And I have to thank everyone so much for showing me your support. I appreciate it so much. It really, really helps so much. So you're going to be able to win one of those. Over here, I'm pointing with my mouse, but I don't know if you could see this. And I'm going crazy with it. Let me know if you could see me moving my mouse. Then at least I know I can do it or stop doing it. Over here, this is a big one, but this is, again, all the money, any money I raise is going towards funding the album, keeping this podcast on air, adding more guests, doing cool things. This is a personalized song request. These are all on my website as well. You just go over to the shop. It makes it easy. But this is a personalized song request. So I've heard people say, you should do this song. I would love to hear you cover this song. This is something where you give me this song. I will actually make a recording of my own, and it's dedicated to you, and I will send you your own copy, and that's for you, and we will always dedicate that to you. Again, raising money to try to, get some funds to advertise and promote my own album. I am an independent artist. I do not have the machine behind me. I don't have the establishment. I'm truly independent. That's what independence really looks like. It's not pretty, guys. It's not always pretty. Okay. And are you hearing me? Before I go on, let me just know, are you hearing me? Dan, do you hear me talking? Just want to make sure because this is the overlay. Let me know. Drop a comment in the chat room there if you can hear me. I don't want it to just be silent. Yes. Okay, good. Okay, good. You can hear me. So, yes. Okay. So, creative services, that's another way that I hear you. I get it. So that's another way to support. If you have a business, a small business, why not hire a human? That would be me. I do lots of different kind of editing. I do intros, outros. If you have a small business, you won't need a voiceover for something. Hire a human. That's me. I will gladly do that for you. That's all on my website to see. And then down to buy me a coffee. I talk a lot about that. And I'm trying to, here, let me see if I can add myself while I'm here. I don't want to mess it up too much. No, I can't. Okay, so buy me a coffee real quick. Here is the buy me a coffee when I talk about that. Buy me a coffee is like a one-time thing. If you want to send in a tip, it helps. You could do a one-time thing. But if you're interested in hearing more and seeing even other things outside of this podcast, I have some stuff only available. I'm going to get rid of Jess's comment there so we could see it. But we have different levels here. So you want to become a soul supporter. And these, you could read all about this in depth, more detail on the website there. for $2 a month. If you do the $5 a month, you get more goodies. But this is the big one. This is the backstage pass. And what's cool about this is I have an exclusive podcast called A Comedy of Errors, and it's just about music. It's a lot about all of my my own album that's coming out. I'm going to be playing music that is not out yet. I'm going to be doing hopefully some interviews possibly with other people in the music industry. That's really just music focused, and it's behind the scenes. It's a lot of stuff that I'm not going to talk about anywhere else because that, it takes time to do that. And those are for the people who are actually really interested in the music. And again, we'll be talking about themes of life and exploring the themes of different kind of music too and stuff like that. The shadow dance and all my songs. So it's a whole big thing. So that's where the backstage pass is. And then there's some other little levels, not little, but they're $20 a month. And then that's the super fan where I send you a gift every month. And there's extra, phone call. And I'm a health coach as well. Talk a lot about holistic health and, just you'll see what it's all about. So anyway, I thought, it's a couple minutes here, but some people don't know what Buy Me a Coffee is. It's actually a community. It's similar to like a Patreon or a Substack. And someone named Smeriglio told me about this. And ever since, it's pretty awesome. So that's what I do there. So I'm going to get rid of this so we could go back and see me here again. Go down here. How do I get rid of that? Okay, I'm back. There we go. So we're taking care of the housekeeping. Top of the hour here. I can't, time flies when you're having fun. It's been 2 hours already. But draw me a comment here in the chat. Did you like that song? I thought it was a pretty good song, but maybe we'll close the show again with it, or maybe that's too much, but we'll play that song again next week because Friday nights we're going to do the TGIF thing and we could talk about movies, maybe do some trivia. And like I said, I think it would be great to do an actual video for that song and we could play into all the stuff and, put all the different clips from things we remember in there. But I really see a scene where I'm like in front of the TV with the popcorn. And it's just like, because I said, you have to create it. And that's what we're trying to do with Voice of the People. You see something lacking and like something that's missing. I'm like, well, maybe we can create it. It's just, I would love to get 4 sitcoms and play them on the network back to back. But we got to find that original content of sitcoms. And then in between, we could have commentary, and even until we have those sitcoms, maybe we can play like an episode of Steve Urkel and watch it, and comment on it, or Full House or whatever. I don't know. It might be kind of fun to do that. But anyway, let's take a drink. And speaking of the 80s, I have a scrunchie. And I was going to put this in my hair, actually, to really get that 80s vibe. That's why I wore this shirt. It's kind of like orange and I don't know. It's all kind of the 80s thing I have. But yeah, if you have a scrunchie, crack it out. My mom will get me scrunchies still sometimes. So I think I got this like at the dollar store or something. But my mom got me a scrunchie. It's hard to do it on camera, so now you can't see it. Oh, excuse me. Here, I'll do it like this way. It's opposite for me. I have to do it here. So if you have a scrunchie laying around, go ahead. I'll give you a minute. Go put it on. Or anything else, 80s. The denims. Saved by the Bell. I know Dan said he's having I don't think he's going to go, but there's like a class reunion and the theme is like 80s, Saved by the Bell. Remember that show? That was definitely 80s. So there's the scrunchie. There's a scrunchie, ladies and gentlemen. I think we need some sound effects here. Let's see what's going on in the chat room. Anybody there? Slides in, hoping Hollis doesn't notice how late he is. It's okay. Tim, you missed. Well, Timothy. I did. There's nobody here named Tim. His name is Timothy. Thank you. Let's do a little round of applause. A big supporter and a special thank you. He did a Buy Me a Coffee. I think it was last night. And I want to say thank you so much. My goal here, we are over, I think, $60 now, which means I'll be pulling, hopefully when we get to the 100, I'll be pulling a name out of the jar. It might be yours. And you will win a hand-painted lyric sheet. I just put a scrunchie in my hair because tonight is all about the 80s. And because Timothy actually heard this song. So I played the Back to the Good Times song, the AI generated song. I talk about, AI and how I don't think it should be used for all kinds of music. Like at least not for my own music. I think we need to still have the creators in there and singing and all that. But AI is pretty amazing when it pops out certain things. like I said, how long would it take me to go to the studio, write that song and get it together and record it? So there's good things about it. So we have our anthem here for Friday nights. But I wanted to give Tim and again everyone, all the supporters, everyone who is in here. I see 14 eyes on there. And the people who are here, I want to say thank you for choosing your time to spend with me. You know, there's a lot going on in the world. There's lots and lots of choices. So for you guys to be here, and I mean, wherever you're watching this, maybe I'm in your living room. I said, you know, when I would cook dinner sometimes, or Dan laughs because I don't do that often. But before I met Dan, I would cook some stuff. I would make like little things, and I would always have a podcast on the counter, even if I wasn't watching it. I'd just be listening. Um, I would just be listening to a podcast because I just like to have, you have the human voice in there. So if I'm here, I said I'm going to be here every night consistently, and tonight is actually day 7 in a row, and I'm looking forward to a break because it's been a lot actually, and I don't think it will be this much. Usually it's just, as I was saying, I was dating streaming platforms, and it's just been building all week and trying different studios, and the time goes so fast. So that's what happened. But what I wanted to do was give a round of applause again, as I think it's important to stay positive and to always recognize and what's the word? Appreciate and give yourself, the recognition and the support. Sometimes we don't hear it. Sometimes we don't give ourselves a round of applause. I'm sure you probably did something this week that you were proud of. And even if you didn't, just sometimes just getting through the week, right? Just getting through the week sometimes. If you got through that job or whatever that week, maybe you had a tough week, give yourself a round of applause. You're still here today and you're doing good. So let's give us a round of applause. Yes. You're doing good, guys. You're doing good. How about and your heart's still beating, like I say. We're grateful for that every day. You see? And a drum roll for what's coming next. Oh, I need a joke for that one. Should we tell a joke? Anybody got a good joke? I could do a drum roll for it. I need the 5s. I need the 5 who haven't smashed the thumbs up to smash the thumbs up, smash that thumbs up button. Yes, subscribe, like, and share the show. The best way to help sometimes too, of course, tips are always going to help most. Money helps. But if you can't, I get it. There's so much. Oh, the monster voice. Okay. Yeah, I could do that. But I get it too. Everybody's asking for money, and everybody in their like I said this in many videos. It's like everybody has a subscription. Everybody needs money. People are struggling, and people are also struggling, so they can't give money. It doesn't. You don't have to give money. Trust me, you don't. If you can, hey, it's appreciated. If you have a couple bucks around and you were gonna throw it somewhere, throw it here. But if you can't, the other way you can help, seriously, you could share the show, or if you think, maybe I know someone who might like it, send it to them. Retweet it, reshare it, do it again, put a heart on it or something. These little things help, so it's not always just about money. And trust me, the people who are in here, you've done enough. You don't have to give a tip every time at all or anything. Don't ever feel like that. I'm not here just for that. It helps, of course, but just you being here means a lot. Just you chatting in the chat room. Okay, we got a joke here. Wait, I gotta get it. Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna do the drum roll, Tim. You gotta write the I'll read the joke out, and then you gotta put the the answer in there. It's gonna be tricky because okay, what's the answer? You gotta put it in there, and I'll do the drum roll and look at it real quick. Hold on. What's the answer? Everybody knows what a French kiss is, but do you know what an Australian kiss is? Is this dirty? I don't know if I should have anything dirty on Hollistics. I'm trying to keep it PG here. I feel like Tim told me this, but I wasn't sure. Okay, well, we're on a cliffhanger here because I'm not sure what the answer is. Maybe Timothy went to get a beverage and he left us all hanging and knowing that everyone knows what a French kiss is, but do you know what an Australian kiss is? This might be a dirty joke. I don't know. I'm not sure if this is. I'll just put it on. I'll put it on the screen. Yes, this is an adult joke. Okay, real quick. There you go. There's the answer. We are PG here. I have more of a PG joke. How about this one? What's your cat's? Somebody told me this joke, and I just thought it was kind of funny. And we've talked about cereal today. So, what's your cat's favorite cereal? I'll say it one more time. What's your cat's favorite cereal? Rice Krispies. Okay, am I supposed to do the drum roll like timed better than that? Wait, the drum roll comes. It's like it's not funny, and then I got the timing wrong. But Mice Krispies. Okay, I got to work on that for next time. Oh my gosh! All right, let's see. Look at changing the background here a little bit. I thought this was really cool too. Watch this. Not cool. That's like definitely 80s dance vibe. But for tonight, we also have some other things too. Oh, I love this. This is nice. This is maybe the Monday vibe. Maybe this one's the Tuesday vibe. Oh, we have some different ones. Isn't it cool? This one, it might be a little too busy for some. Oh, I mean, that's cool though, right? I'm giving away my secrets here. I was gonna keep coming back, knowing what color I'm gonna choose tonight. I like to do a different thumbnail for every episode, and I'm on episode 7, so I gotta see what color I didn't use. But I'm gonna go back to the 80s here. All right, and we have some more comments in here. Holy moly! All right, let's see what else we got going on here. Should we do a little bit of Mambo number 5? When I said that, a little bit of Monica. I like that song. I like that song a lot. I think we should dance. Is that an 80s song? Chumbawanga. I get knocked down and I'm up again. If you just tuned in, I am Hollis-Tics. They're like, who is this? Or could you imagine if they tune in and like, they'll be like, I don't know, they might stay just because they're like, what is this? And I'll be like, AOL dial-up, when we're talking about the 80s here. Pops and Fruit Loops and Apple Jacks and Frosted Flakes and Slinkies. I don't know if anyone caught that. I mean, it kind of blends into the background, but we have Slinkies. We have 80s. We're talking about 80s tonight. The Pogs. Remember the Pogs? There's so much great things of the 80s. Again, probably to us because we grew up with them. And then there's different, I grew up in the 80s, or people grew up in the 70s, or they had different things, So this one's just kind of an homage to the 80s, except for the 80s babies up there, the MTV and the TGI Fridays and the Oregon Trail, and lots of other stuff. The dinosaur that the show. I still have it. I think. Oh, I hope I still have it. I hope my mom didn't throw it out. Baby Earl. Oh no, Baby Sinclair. I had him. You pulled the string. The string didn't work anymore, but it would go, not to mama. Oh, you need to get one of those. I don't know. Oh, no, I'm thinking about it. You think is we cleaned so much of our house. And I had Baby Sinclair. I loved him. He was so cute. Cabbage Patch dolls. Remember those? I love preemies with a little pacifier. I love the little dolls. They were so cute. Lou Bega. Yes, Lou Bega is the Mambo number 5. And this is Mambo number 5. Sometimes you just have to dance and have fun. Like certain music, I mean, everyone has something else. They might, Garbage Pail Kids, yes. I was talking about those earlier. Tim, they had Timothy, should say, Wacky Packs. I don't remember Wacky Packs. But remember the Garbage Pail Kids, and some of them had a piece of gum in there? But they had a Garbage Pail Kid. It was Haunted Hollis. And I thought that was crazy because Hollis is not a very, it's not a popular name. I mean, I don't know many. My mom would call me Holly. My real name is Hollis. It's on my license. My dad named me Hollis. But when I was younger, I was like, oh, no, that's weird. Like, how about Holly? So I went by Holly for pretty much. See, some people in college, like Jess knows me as Holly. They said it on the stream the other day. I was like, hey, it's Hollis. Oh, it's Hollis, not Holly. I'm a a musician. I thought, and then when I got older, my dad was like, "You like that someday?" And I was like, "I should use it as my stage name because Hollis is less common." But the drawback of that is when you go on vacation or you're in like a boutique shop and you're trying to bring a souvenir and they don't have anybody named Holly or anybody named Hollis on their little license plate keychain thing where they have the names like Dan, or on the little you want to bring someone back a nice souvenir of a shot glass with their name. There's none named Hollis. So those are the drawbacks. But I said, you know what? I think Hollis I'll do for my stage name. So when I moved to New York City and I was a bartender, I'm like, I'm Hollis. Holly Hobby. Holly Hobby. That's familiar. But I remember more Polly Pockets. Remember Polly Pockets? Polly Pockets. Reebok and Pony. Let's see, Holly Hobby. I remember, like, I heard of that, but I don't really remember who that is. Reebok and Pony high top basketball shoes were the hot. Beep. Wait, hold on. I'm trying not to curse. Hot. Oh, that was loud. I'm sorry. I don't know if it was really loud for you. I do have like a censor button.
Hello. Whoa, that's not it. That's not the censor button.
Hi, everybody. You're listening to Hollistics, and we're talking about Reebok and Pony high top basketball shoes. Oh yes. Wait, hold on.
Hello?
Hello, everybody. Okay, because we're talking about the 80s, and Kathleen says this is appropriate. In the 80s, Child World Tour store Scranton looked like a big castle. There's the censor button. Okay, now how do I take this off? Hold on. Hello? Hello? Okay, I forget how to take this sensor off. Okay, so we got that off, but, no, and I don't want that. Okay, hello? Hold on, I need to take this off. How do I take this voice off? Oh dear. Hold on. Oh dear. I like this voice, but I've tried to get my regular voice back. Hold on 1 second. Because I think she might be talking about Toys R Us. That was in Scranton. Remember the globe? Hold on. How do I take this off? Okay. It's not that one. Hello? It's not that one. It's not that one. It's not that one. Hello? 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 Hello?
Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Hello? Hello? Hi, Tech.
Hello? There we go. I had to call my technician over to help to get that off the voice. So that was the segment where thank you, my technician. He came over and he saved the day with the voice. But sorry about that, guys. I mean, it kind of wore off its appeal after a couple sentences there. But it was funny answering Kathleen over there. The Globe store. Remember the Globe? Yes. Yes. Betty would take me to the Globe. I'm sure to you too. Right? I remember. Oh, now it's Boscov's, right? Boscov's still there. And that was the only store down there. It wasn't the Steamtown Mall yet. I think it was just, I remember we would take the bus to the Globe and there was probably like a diner and thing or some restaurant, but that's so funny. That's so funny, the Globe store. But in the 80s, Child World's Toy Store Scranton looked like a big castle. Was that the Toys R Us, or was up on the highway there? Love the Globe Store. Yes, they're done there. The Charlemont. I don't know. I probably have been there. I probably was there, but yes, get their hair done down at the Globe. They did the hair there too. Was there a salon there? Yeah, I kind of remember it. This is a weird, and no one, Kathleen might know what I'm talking about, but maybe not. Which is, I always remember this. It's like the Globe. When you went in the bathroom, I don't know, there was a soap or something. There was something that years later, I smelled a perfume, or it was a soap, and I swear I was like, this reminds me of the Globe bathroom. It was like the smell of, it wasn't like a bad smell. It was like the fragrance, or it was like the soap or something. And and remember those little water, you would take I would just take that little cone where you fill the water and drink it. Many Levels was a mini mall. Love out, did Dan fix you so we would get back normal? Yes. I couldn't get the voice off. I guess I don't want to mess with it again now. But yeah. Many Levels, it was a mini mall. The Globe. So the Globe, and for people who don't know what we're talking about, the Globe store, I mean, was that just in Scranton, or was that like a chain? Because, I mean, some people know what Boscov's, they have another, and this was a big surprise to me. I didn't know that. For some reason, I guess I was ignorant, naive. I thought Boscov's was only in Scranton. I was like, Boscov's. But Boscov's, when we were traveling, I forget where it was, but it was another state. And I was like, wow, they have a Boscov's here? I love Boscov's. They was good deals. It's one of those. Boscov's is another one. It's one of my favorite stores when I go back to. It's my favorite store in Scranton, probably because it gives me memories too. As my dad always used to go shopping there and get us gifts from there for Christmas. And my grandma, like, it just, Boscov's was. It's just one of those, more of a memory thing. I like, it feels good when I go to Boscov's. It just brings back the good memories. And there's a lot for that, But let's see what else we got going on here. Hold on. Let's see. So again, guys, you are watching Hollistics. I am your host, Hollis Mahady, and time goes so fast. Wow, I've been on here 2.5 hours almost already. So yeah, I mean, we'll probably go till 10 o'clock. Why not? We'll have a little more fun here. And I have a good time reminiscing about the 80s movies and things like that. But again, it doesn't have to be just 80s. If you're here and you have a memory, feel free to share it. We'll talk about it. I already did the comment of the day. And, I do the little commercials here and there. But again, if you haven't checked out the website yet, you know what? Go over to my website, hollismahady.com. You could see it right here. Actually, let me just get rid of, remove Kathleen's comment for a second there. There's my website there. Go to hollismahady.com and sign up for my email list. That's one I don't say enough, because I'm going to start, it's been a long week, and it's been very hard putting all this together. Not this. This is the part I enjoy. Like I said, I used it when I was in a band for all those years. My favorite part is this. I love this. I love talking to people. I love connecting again. I love connecting with people, and I love being on stage, and I love, growing, when people come back, it's fun. I say, a lot. You'll learn about that. I gotta work on that. I feel like I say that so much, but being on stage is the fun part. Being in a band, the best part was the freaking set. It was like 30 minutes, maybe an hour. When we did longer shows, 2 hours. But all the time and all the stuff you have to do, but to prepare for that to happen is like, that's so time consuming. It was the same thing for a band too. It's like you live for those freaking moments when you're on stage. Bands go through so much. You're practicing, you're renting spaces, you're hauling equipment, you're driving miles to get to the gig, you're dealing with this, you're so much. And it's just for that hour. And that's what happens when you prepare and then you get to that stage. Like last night when I was like, everything's ready, I've been preparing, and then something doesn't work and the computer froze. And I'm like, really? Because this is what happens, so it's like you're living for, I had a song title for that. I thought it was called like 30-minute addiction or an hour addiction, or no, I thought 30-minute addiction sounded kind of cool. It's like you're addicted. You want to go on stage. You want to be on it, but it's all the stuff behind the scenes to make it happen, to actually get there. That's the tough part. Even with this, I mean, again, a lot of people are just viewers. I mean, I know I have some friends who also do streaming out there, Tom and Timothy, and Joe, too, as well. You're editing videos and stuff. These things take time, and it's fun, but it's like, it's time consuming. So you're doing that all the time. So I don't know where I was going with that. I was saying I have a lot of fun on stage, and this is my favorite part, definitely. So we gotta share this show out, guys. Let's get this over to Sirius XM. Someone who has some freaking money. Let's get it there, because then I could just show up and entertain, and we could do this a lot more. We get our show, so that's why it helps. Share the show. Subscribe. I started with subscribe to my email list, because what I'm going to be doing is going to be putting out an email every day reminding you, hey, I'll be here tonight. I'm here tonight. But also, if you sign up for the email list, you get I'll let you know when my new music is coming out. It's all coming out. It just takes a while, but like in the next week, I'm focused back on music again, because I do everything myself, and it's not really not possible. So that's why we need help, and that's why I'm out there. I am putting myself out there. I need help. If anyone wants to volunteer and help me with my, send out emails or post on my social media for me, please. God will, if you like the show, if you're a fan, share it out for me. We could just share it. That's the biggest thing. If you could throw me a tip and stuff, that helps. Somebody who has a lot of money and they need they want to donate, let them know. It helps. Money is a resource. It's not the most important thing, but it is important. It's a resource. It helps get the help, and it helps us have more shows, because I have the Cleveland Rocks podcast I'd love to do. I have I'd love to build this TGI Friday out. I would love to be able to put other people's shows, and I can, but it takes a while because I have to do it myself. So let's get the word out there, because I didn't do this all just for me. I didn't have a TV network and a radio network just for myself or for Dan. It's for everybody. I want to bring the Cole County entertainment out. We want to help each other. We did this for everyone. We are on Roku TV right now. We're on Fire TV. We're on Apple TV. I'm on the apps. I'm everywhere, but not enough people know about it, because I don't have the time to go tell everybody about it. So that's up to you guys. Share it out. Share the show. Help where you can. And in turn, I'm always here to help other people. If you have a business you want me to put on the screen, let me know. Let's check it out. If you're doing whatever, you have a cause, you need help. You need someone to check out the cause or donate. Let me know. I'll drop your link there. We're here to help each other. I'm just not here for me. And it's boring if it's just about me. I want to help other people as well. We got to help each other, because it's a crazy world out there. Oh my gosh, it's a crazy world, isn't it? So back to the banners. Back to the media assets, actually. So again, just in case. Are you enjoying the podcast? If you'd like to support what I'm building, you can buy me a coffee. Every bit of support helps me keep this podcast going and release my music independently. You can leave a one-time tip or become a member for a few dollars a month and unlock exclusive content and behind-the-scenes footage you won't find anywhere else. Just visit buymeacoffee.com/Hollis-Mahady or scan the code you see on the screen. And here is a teaser of my song. The song you hear in this video is one of my new songs. It's the first single I'll be releasing. Hopefully it's soon. We got a lot of stuff to do for that. Got to send it out to radio stations, got to send it out to a lot. There's so much to do. Just so much. But we'll get there. Here you go.
Life is a gift, the thing we play.
So there you have it. That is one of my song covers, and that's just a little clip of it. But if you go if you go to the website, you get a little teaser of the song. Put your email in there, and I'll let you know as soon as it comes out. In case you miss it, there's a lot going on in the world. You might not see it, so go and tap that email list. If you haven't done it, I'll give you a second. Go and check it out. Don't leave. I guess don't leave the stream. Maybe I shouldn't say that, but after the show, just click up there and put your email list in there, and you'll always know, because sometimes people pop in and you never see them again because they forget. They're like, or maybe they found her. They say, how do I find her? It's right there, hollismahady.com. Come back every night. Please come back. Bring a friend. Bring some popcorn, especially on Friday nights. We're going to have popcorn. Maybe I'll get some popcorn because Sheets is down the road and they have movie style popcorn. It's awesome. They have a machine and you can put your own butter on it. I've never seen it anywhere else besides the movie theater. And let's face it, guide, movie theater prices are ridiculous for their concessions, right? Aren't they? It's more than the movie ticket, but it's part of the experience. You're going to get your tickets. I think tickets are like $12-15. I mean, that might be, for the ticket. And then the popcorn is like $30 for a popcorn and soda. So you're looking at about $50 or something for a nice night out. So those guys taking the girl out for a movie, you want to be a gentleman, pay for it. Or if you're going as a friend, maybe split it. But, guys want to impress and they're trying to pay. But, you got to save that money for your popcorn. So I don't know. I could say go to Sheets first, put it in your purse. But, if you're a guy, you just got to splurge for the popcorn. It's part of the experience, right? So over here, back to this a little bit at the website. Oh, you know what I want to talk about? Because I haven't really talked about it too much, but this is really important. And it's about music. But as I said before, we are streaming also live on our own network. I put so much time into this network. It's called VOPUSAradio.com. If you head over to that website, you could see me under the channel for Hollistics. There's also a music channel on there, and I have a lot of all my videos and stuff on there. And I'm putting my own music out on something called Voice of Freedom Records. And right now it's just me, and I haven't put anything out yet, but I have a lot of the framework in place. But I did that again because I'm independent and I've been through the traditional music industry, and I just said, I want to be in control and I want to put it out myself. So to distribute yourself, you could put it out on your own label. And there's a lot of work that goes into that. But here is why I did that. And it's for my own music, but I eventually hope to bring other artists on it as well. And there's certain artists I'm looking for. It's going to be people probably, again, I don't discriminate obviously with age or anything, but it's probably like I'm a big proponent or a big fan of people who have never given up. And this is it's a crazy industry. It's a hard industry. And there's a lot of people who never made it. I mean, there's many more of those than the ones that you hear about who broke big and they got all the money and then they get everything. And the rest of us are like scraping by for crumbs. Or, in a lot of cases, they quit. You have to go back. You got to get a day job. Don't quit your day. Go get your job to fund your music. And there are people like me. And also I've had a career, I guess. I didn't make loads of money, but people know who I was from my old band and all that. It's a crazy story. But my point is, my record label, Voice of Freedom Records, it is really geared to those who've never given up and who are like me. You're trying to navigate the world here with this AI music. It's not for people who make all their music in AI. It's for those real stories out there, those songs that will never be discovered or never be heard because they have they can't break through the noise. Because it costs money to break through the noise. I don't care. Yes, you can be good and the cream will rise to the crop sometime. But there's a lot of people who are awesome, who've never been even heard. And the sad part, like I say, they gave up. And my whole thing, my saddest thing, and you'll go back if you watch some of the episodes, I hate when people give up on their dream because your dreams and your passion. I shouldn't even say dream because it's your passion, And a lot of times we just have to do it on the side because we're just trying to pay the bills and everything. But that really is what Voice of Freedom is for. And that's for me. It's free to be yourself at whatever age it is. I'm older now than when I started. And it's very discriminatory. Is that the word? In the music industry, the traditional music industry. It's like, how young are you? You have to be young. You have to look a certain look. It's different though now. Things have changed. Good song is a good song. Good soul, good story. But it's very difficult for those real ones to break through because of all the algorithm and the fact that now everybody can be everybody's an entertainer. But people who don't even know how to sing could put music out. People don't even know how to play, right? And that's what we're dealing with. So it's really looking for those people, those rare gems, or those people who never gave up and have great music and they want to work together and come together and create industry outside of it. I'm someone has to start it. I always wish there was something like that, a place where there was an artist or like run by artists and they're actually helping each other. And I never found it. So I was like, let's create it. So I'm the first one. Here we are, Voice of Freedom Records. Nothing's out on it yet because I haven't put my first single out, but we're getting there. But I'll play this little commercial I made. And this is We have a radio, we have a distribution network, we have a TV network to put it on. I mean, it could be exposed to millions possibly because it is. Roku TV, millions of people have that. But it's about them finding it, which comes back to two big things: money and promotion. Everybody here right now, if you just went and shared this episode, if you're liking it, or you could just retweet it and share it, and it gets out there and people see this, that doesn't cost you anything. But money for advertising is a fortune. And all the big artists you've ever heard, whatever. I'm just example, Taylor Swift, all these people, is bad example, but Taylor Swift, you've heard of them because they've had millions and millions and millions of dollars behind them and for advertising and promotion. I mean, that's how people break through. That's why you've heard of the big names, the Katy Perry, all these big ones who broke through. They have millions of dollars behind them pushing them. That's when people say the machine's behind you. They have a machine, and 90% of the people like us, independent people, don't have a machine. They're lucky if they have a little bit of money and a friend who will help them. This is it. So this is what this is for. And this is Voice of Freedom Records and why I did it. And I'm working really hard. But it's not just for me. I want to help other people. So here's the rally call or whatever. If you see this and you're real, help me. I will help you. But we have to help each other. So here we go. No AI music is allowed. When I say that, yes, you could use AI tools. You could use AI to help you with stuff to make videos. But like when it comes to just like what, for instance, the song "The Back to the Good Times," that's a great song, but that's a computer who made that. You want the people who are real, who know how to play the piano. Yes, you can hear a fake, but you might not even hear the difference. But we need to support the artist behind the soul behind the song, I always say. So here we go. Let's play it.
The Music Channel on Voice of the People USA Radio and Television Network. This channel exists to spark a revolution, to shine a light on the undiscovered talent and hidden gems of a new era in music. Built on a foundation of truth, freedom, and fearless exploration, our network gives a voice to artists without compromise, manipulation, or censorship. This is the home of Voice of Freedom Records, where we protect and nurture the hearts, dreams, and visions of our artists with unwavering integrity. Born out of a deep need for something real, we are the alternative. A platform where true musicians and creators are celebrated without strings, without gimmicks, and without selling out. In a world oversaturated with noise, manufactured fame, and artificial voices, we choose quality over quantity. We stand for the real. Real music, real stories, real souls. Not robots, not algorithms, not empty trends. Here, music is sacred. Here, every true voice matters. And here, freedom sings. Download your free copy of The Reconnection Movement today. Just head over to my website, www.hollismahady.com. Go to the podcast sections, scroll to the bottom of the page, and enter your email to get your free copy instantly. Now more than ever, it's important that we reconnect and support real human creators and real people.
All right. And here I am in real time. I'm realizing a few of my little clips that I like to talk about them and show them are missing. So I'm in real time here. I was talking about Epidemic Sounds before, and I didn't have the commercial, but I just added it in there, and I just added that one. The other one was the other Voice of Freedom Records commercial, that one. And also my new website, which I was talking about earlier, too. If you go over the website and you join the mailing list, you can keep abreast of the situation that's going on right here, right now on Hollistics. So here's the Epidemic Sounds where it was talking about the licensed music and stuff. So every song, most songs here that you hear in those commercials and everything, if they're not my music, they're from Epidemic Sounds. And you could also, if you're interested, you could get your own subscription, and that's on my website. You could hear the playlist that I use, including Lights, which is a great song that I closed the show with, and my intro song, which to me sounds, I think it's called, I forget the name of the song, but it reminds me of a kind of like a 80's like theme song. That's why I picked it. It's like, never let This time we can reach the. I forget how it goes, but you'll hear it. It's on the intro. But we could end up dreaming that goes higher and higher. Well, that's why I'm wide awake. It's a big mistake, but it's something we can't deny. I love it. It's like that. It's like we're gonna keep trying. We're gonna keep going. I love those kind of cheesy songs. They're not cheesy. They're like some people think they're cheesy, but they're like you can win. You can win. You're they're gonna win. Don't never give up. So here we go. Epidemic Sound. If you're interested.
Are you liking the music in this show? The music you hear in my videos and during the show is licensed through Epidemic Sound, an amazing platform for creators. If you make videos, podcasts, or content of your own, head over to hollismahady.com, go to the podcast page, and sign up for a free trial using my link. And if you're just a listener looking for new music, you'll also find my playlist of favorite songs I use in this show. Signing up through my link supports the show and the musicians too.
And here's Little Voice of Freedom Records with that cool new photo by Andrea Witt.
What choice do you have other than to fight and let go of these roots? Now hold yourself tight, you claw your way up, back on solid ground, then the darkness comes to kick you back down.
And one more. This one I shot in Maine. This was in Maine when I lived there. And this was Voice of Freedom Records. So take a look at this one.
Music has always been such an important part of my life. It's been a constant, a lifeline, a force that shaped who I am. I understand the heart of an artist, those who create not for fortune or fame, but because the music lives inside them, because it's what fills their soul. That's why I created Voice of Freedom Records, not just as a home for my own music, but as a place where one day others can bring their voices to the world. In a time when algorithms and fleeting trends seem to decide what we hear, we focus on the quality, not just the quantity. We search for music that matters, music that speaks to the heart, that stirs something deep within us, that reminds us what it means to be human. Because at Voice of Freedom Records, it's not just about making noise. It's about making music that moves souls.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. And we got a question in the chat room here. Jim Tim is back in the house. Did you never tell me what you decided to drink? Did you get something good? Okay, Tim says, what hall did you live in at ESU? Forgot to ask. I lived in a bunch of places. I think everybody who was a freshman girl had to go to Hawthorne Hall. So I lived there the first year. I might have ended the second year. I don't remember. And I think, where else did I live? I don't remember. Oh, Gatorade. Okay, he has some Gatorade. That's good. It gets your electrolytes. But where else did I live? Hawthorne Hall. I did a summer class there. And I think I stayed in, was it Lindy Hall? Maybe. And then, so I think I was in Hawthorne for 2 years. And what were some of the names? Lenape. I know, because one of them was just for guys, right? There was boys and girls, and then there was co-ed. I feel like there's one I'm missing. It might have been Lenape I lived in for 1 year. I think maybe Linden was just the guys one. And then, yeah, like during summer, I lived in, I think, Linden. And then I lived in those ESU apartments. And that's when I lived with Jess. I don't know if Jess is still there, but we lived down in the ESU apartments. And it was like building A, B, and C. And I think 1 year I lived in A, and the next year I lived in B, maybe. Or maybe I was in the same one. But yeah, those were the days, the college days. I was talking about the Union earlier. Talking about the buffalo chicken wrap. Linden was co-ed. Okay, so maybe it wasn't there. Okay, so maybe it was there when I lived. I don't know, because it was summer, so I don't think it mattered. That was the only one that was open, but I lived there for a summer. But yeah, the Union was fun. I went back to the Union when I was in Scranton like 2 years ago. I drove up there and it was open. I guess I don't remember why I went there. I think I was doing a show close to it, and I was like, oh, I'll go to the Tannersville crossings there, which I would go to sometimes from ESU. This is in the Poconos where I went to school in East Stroudsburg. And I stopped at ESU and I don't know it was open. Why? But I went in and I got a buffalo chicken wrap. And this was like 2 years ago, and I ate it there and I was like, wow, all these memories. It was kind of crazy. Because when you think about it, college was like 20 years ago. Oh, I'm aging myself. But yeah, good times, good times. Do I remember Rudy's? Rudy was the bar there, yeah. And yes, I remember Rudy's. That was like the corner bar. So when we were there, you're 21 the last year, but please, you drank underage and all that stuff. Oh, I wish I spent more time studying, but we'll get into that another day here on Holistics. But reminiscing, because this is the night of reminiscing. And I'm getting hungry, speaking of that. I haven't eaten all day, actually, because I'm still on my schedule. But I think I started this podcast almost 3 hours ago. Wow, time goes fast. Talking about Trader Joe's and how we're going to do a trip to Trader Joe's and stock up on some healthy food and some nice treats for the week, because you're not prepared and you're trying to order something out and you're wasting money and going to Sheets at the middle of the night, because I am on the graveyard schedule. I'm burning the midnight oil, as they say. I'm like, it's 5 a.m. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm up. I'm just up. I'm just on this crazy schedule. So I'm hoping, by tomorrow, I really need to get back on a good schedule and get away from the computer. I need to. I mean, there's no escaping it, but I'm just praying. Today, should I say it? It's been a great show. I've had so much fun, and knock on wood, nothing went wrong. I mean, here and there, but I mean, besides the helium voice getting stuck there, besides that, but that wasn't a computer malfunction. So God willing, if it could just be easy, then I don't have to spend all the time behind the computer, getting back to life again. And I'm excited because I want to go over to the rec center, which we have in Strongsville, and has a hot tub and a sauna, and we're going to sweat out the toxins, because Monday through Thursday, a lot of what we talk about is holistic health. And, I like to help people, by just telling my goals and my journey. And maybe people have other health goals, or maybe you're dealing with problems, but we could talk about them together, because we're here for support. This is a community with connection. So there you have it. So I don't know. We are getting to the end of the hour here, and I think I am going to start to wrap it up. I'm having a great time, but talking about that buffalo chicken wrap, I'm like, what are we going to have for dinner? What are we going to get for dinner? Because I'm hungry. What is everyone here having for dinner? Not popcorn. We talked about popcorn, the Sheets popcorn, movie popcorn. That we got to get some popcorn for our Friday nights moving forward. But what's on the menu, everybody? Anybody out there? What's in the menu? Do you remember Rudy's? I was a bouncer. What was the place near train? A restaurant that got burned down. I don't remember that. The Dansbury Depot. Again, we were talking a little bit about college. I have someone here who we went to college together, and we're talking about our memories here at East Stroudsburg University. So, yes, Tim, I missed this comment. Tim says, but then you're wired for 6 hours after the 1 hour show. That is true. That is so true. Dan knows this. Anyone who does live shows, when I was in a band, you have so much adrenaline. After the show's over, you're like, you're up. You can't just go, okay, I'm going to go to sleep now. You're wired. You are wired. So that it's a weird schedule. But I have, after I get off the air, I'm like, now what? So I have to, it's on my agenda. I have to tape my episode of Comedy of Errors, which is that totally changed things. Hello. I need to get another camera for my computer. I might get a new phone this weekend. These are things like, been just kind of cooped up in the house, and the days just fly by. So this is a weekend. We're going out into the world, and I have to get to the music studio as well. I'd love to show you some live performances and things of that nature. So with that said, guys, you've been listening to Holistics. It's sad to say goodbye. Amy's in the chat room. Okay, James is having Jim Tim. I don't call it why I called you James, but Jim Sims is having chicken and stuffing. You're making me hungry. And Amy's a great cook. What are you having, my wonderful lady there? What are you having for dinner? Probably something amazing. She creates, and she's so good at canning. She does all this natural stuff, and she cans and she makes her own dressings and cakes. She made a cake once. Thank you, Amy. I still think about that cake sometimes. Mama, up to baby Sinclair. I had the little doll and I don't know where it is. I have a feeling it's gone. I had that dinosaur. I hope it's still there, but I feel like my mom maybe got rid of it. But maybe we can order one. You pull the string and it says, but those are nostalgia toys. But yes, but Amy always amazed me. She could do all these different things. Like she was always making her own things. She still is. She makes awesome jewelry and she cans things and she's just very creative, but she's a great cook. And she would make these like lots of different things. Like I said, I always think of the lemon cake that she made. And she, you could taste, when people say you make that from the heart, or you could taste the care and the time that went into it. It was like the real lemon curds and all that stuff. But I'm not as gifted in that way. I'm not a very good cook. It was like Dan's a good cook, and Dan's dad's a good cook, great cook, and Amy's a great cook, and Aaron, oh, the only reason maybe Aaron is a great cook, I don't know, but I just always remember the story. Did Hollis have pigtails? Wait, what? I had a pigtail earlier when I had a scrunchie in because it's 80's night here. Oh, Haunted Hollis from the Garbage Pail Kid. I remember he had bat wings. I don't know. I think it was a guy. I don't think it was a girl. I think it was a guy, and we'll have to find it. But there's a Garbage Pail Kid that's Haunted Hollis. Is there one for Amy? Because there's probably one for Aaron. I know there's a few for Dan. Timothy probably is a Garbage Pail Kid. What is your Garbage Pail Kid? I was in shock that they had one for Hollis. Haunted Hollis. I don't know if I ever had the card, but I saw it online. But yeah, I was saying with Amy, I'll never forget the story about Aaron and his gnocchi. Was it something like that? He kept making the same dinner. But I understand. But because being a good cook, people say, "Oh, just watch the recipe and throw it together." I don't know. It's a gift. I think it takes time to be a good cook, and you need the tools. And I know Timothy Shea loves to cook out there, and he's a good cook. But no, actually, I don't know. I mean, he probably is. I've never had anything, but he'll have to come over here and cook for us as soon as we get a pot. We still actually don't have. There's certain things we are lacking, so we use the Instapot a lot. But no, but being a good cook is a very good thing. Yes, it was a good. Thank you, Joe. It was an enjoyable evening. The helium voice was funny. I love that. I'm going to put that in the compilation video. Yes, I couldn't get the helium voice off. My own voice is a little high pitched sometimes. I have different voices I could use. Hi, everybody. Hello, everybody. But yes, we had a great time. It's been a long week. A lot. I can't believe I did 7 shows. So there you go. Every night I did a show. And moving forward, I will be back Monday. You get a break for me for the weekend. But on Monday, I will be back at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Hopefully, we're still broadcasting on Facebook, on the Rumble, on YouTube. Did I say that? Instagram, possibly. Instagram is a pain in the butt with their streaming and all that. And of course, VOPUSARadio.com. I am on the Roku, the Fire TV, the Apple TV, the Android, and the apps, guys. Go and check it out. It's all scrolling on the bottom. And if you like what you're seeing, feel free to drop a tip in the tip jar or buy me a coffee. I appreciate it. All tips and money goes towards the cost of keeping this show on the air and towards my music. So I appreciate that so much. I hope everybody out there has a wonderful weekend. And Amy, you came in late, but I'm so glad you're here. Sorry I'm leaving, but the replay will be on there. And we talked, and I played the song. You should listen to it. You'll like it. It's about, you'll understand it. And I'm going to play it next week again. So I'll play that every Friday because we are here on the Friday night theme of the 80's, babies, and TGI Fridays and all that. So, yes, you have to watch that. But again, we are getting to the end of the hour here. We're going to close with one of my favorite, Lights. It's a great song. And I had so much fun this week. And again, I thank everybody from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for spending your time with me. Thank you for choosing me. And as I always say, time is your most valuable asset. So thank you for choosing me to keep you company. And thank you for chatting with me. It's always so much fun when everyone chats. And I am Hollis Mahady, hollismahady.com. You are watching Hollistics on the Voice of the People, U.S.A. Radio and Television Network. That's a very long name. It may be being shortened sometime in the near future because it's a long name to say. But it is the Voice of the People, and we are the voice of the people. So with that said, everybody, I'm going to go over to my media assets here. And I'm going to look for, oh no, actually, when I push end of stream, my outro should play. I got that set up like that. This stuff's very confusing. Oh, and here, what's this? Thank you here. Ooh. Oh, that makes me leave, but here. Thank you. And also, oh, I don't know about those. Okay. So, comment of the day. Big shout out to Cherry from Cherry Simpson making the comment of the day. He had a nice comment, and I appreciate that so much. And I give you guys all a round of applause. Joe, Smurglio out there, Aaron and Amy, Jim, Tim, Jessica, Timothy, Tom. If I'm forgetting anyone, if I didn't mention you, you know I mentioned it, and I meant to mention it. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. And here's a little applause for you in case someone didn't tell you today. You're wonderful. I love you. Believe in yourself. Never stop what you're dreaming of or your passion is. Never stop. I'm going to give yourself a round of applause. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm saying goodnight. I love you. I'm going to miss you. Hi, Jason. I'm just about to end, but I wanted to say thank you for coming in. The replay will play right away after this. If you're on Rumble, I think you're on Rumble there. It'll play. My voice is getting tired now after 3 hours, and my stomach is getting hungry, and I keep thinking about that buffalo chicken wrap. So we're going to have to take care of that. So with that said, now I finally will shut up. I feel like Dan, I'll finally shut up, and I will play the outro. I love you all very much. Take care of yourself this weekend. Be safe. Have fun. Go shopping. Maybe you're going to go to Trader Joe's as well. I'm very excited about this. Have a great week. Take care of yourself. I am Hollis Mahady, and you have been watching Hollistics. Enjoy the outro, guys. See you soon. Okay. Play outro and end stream. Okay, we'll get that down. We'll try that one more time. I'll see you next time, guys. I'm Hollis. Thanks for tuning in to Hollistics. See you next time.
Thank you for watching Hollistics, hosted by me, Hollis Mahady. If you enjoyed the show, be sure to share it with someone who might need it too. And if you'd like to support the podcast, you can visit buymeacoffee.com/Hollis Mahady. You can make a one-time donation or become a member for just a few dollars a month to get extra podcasts and exclusive behind-the-scenes content you won't find anywhere else. Or simply scan the code on the screen. Your support truly means the world to me and helps me continue creating independent content for you. If you like the music featured in this show, I license it through Epidemic Sound. You can head over to hollismahady.com, click on the podcast page, and use my link for a free trial. And don't forget to check out VOPUSARadio.com, where I host my music channel and am building a growing community of independent musicians. If you're interested in joining the network, just click Join Network and submit an application. Until next time, remember that you are loved and never alone. From human to human, big hugs. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you next time. Enjoy the outro video. I love this song.
Lights shining from the window late at night. I'm just watching someone else's life go by, wishing it was mine. Dreams, everybody has them at the start. Somewhere along the way they fall apart, and it makes it kinda hard to look up at the lights. When the lights go out, everything is clearer. When the lights go out, I could finally see what it's all about. Standing in the mirror when the lights go out, it's you looking back at me. could finally see when the lights go out. Everything is clearer when the lights go out. I could finally see what it's all about. Standing in the mirror when the lights go out. It's you looking back at me. Hope. Try your best to hold on to the rope. We all have a reason to let go, and it's easier to do, but it's better if we don't.